Yes, the Captain's cast. Twice in 1 week. Our cup runneth over. So much to discuss. The many expressions of Amanda Stenberg. Ahoy and welcome! I am Captain Garrett of the Swords and Starships channel, and we are going to talk the demise, the final bitter end of the Acolyte. And you are watching the Swords and Starships channel live on YouTube, Rumble, and X. That's all. Just X now. X.com. Like, follow, subscribe, because we got to talk about the Acolyte finally being over. Stormcrow is in the Discord, which the link is in the description, by the way. Stormcrow in the Discord is saying, I don't want to hear no more shit talk on Hayden Christensen anymore. Who's talking shit about Hayden Christensen, Stormcrow? You must let me know. Why are you upset about this? Halo 2 has not Halo 2. Halo, the show, the Paramount Plus show, has finally given up the ghost, folks. That's right. It's over. It is over, and it not a moment too soon, let me tell you. And not only that, not only is the Acolyte over, not only is Star Trek Discovery STD over, not only is Halo 2... Right, why do I keep calling it? It's because it's Halo Season 2. Halo, the show on Paramount, over. We have other stuff. Doctor Who appears to be ending. Which is only good news in that the exhumed corpse of Doctor Who is ending. Folks, you've got to see... I cannot wait to see the shill reactions. I've not seen it yet. The Grizzy Shill reactions to Episode 8 of The Acolyte. I was watching the EFAP with Mahler and the boys, and oh my god, this show... It's like every little detail of this show is such a mess. I'm going to share all of that with you, my dear sailors and star nuts, so pull up a chair. We'll just dive right in. Wrangler is in the chat, says hail, right off the bat, with a $4.20 super chat. Says nothing, as is his custom. Why, thank you, Wrangler. You are too generous, huh? Captain salutes you, son. Wrangler says the Acolyte shouldn't be a problem. I sent a certain galactic bounty hunter to finish them off. I know. I hope it's Valen from Enigma Varillion, aka Black Knight's novels. I feel like he would handle it. He would handle things. That's from the Star Shatter universe. Hail the Iron Age. Check that out. I have so much in my stack of stuff that I don't even know where to start. Although I think I want to start with this. I think I want to start with this. You folks, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know that I, your dear captain, I have long been opposed to additional prequels, requels, reboots. Ugh! I'm tired of it. I really agree with Mahler on this one. I think, and I didn't think this exactly at first, but I do, as I've seen both movies in their fullness, I think Ghostbusters Afterlife and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire together have just destroyed whatever was left of interest in the Ghostbusters. There are only two Ghostbusters movies, 1 and 2. Okay? I agree with it. So, I'm done with all this. I don't want any more reboots. However, once in a while, it's rare. It's rarely, but it has been known to happen that the captain is incorrect about something. So it's possible. I'm not willing to say that I am yet. However, try this headline from Cosmic Book News. Glenn Powell's Twisters, that would be the sequel no one asked for to a movie that's like, what, 25 years old at this point? That's got to be older than that. It's like 30 years old. Exploding with a $75 million opening. Quote, no climate change BS. What? How is that possible? Seriously? Fans are loving what they see. We need to fix our byline there, boys. Fans are loving what they are seeing. Oh, I guess that is grammatically accurate. My mistake. Fans are loving what they are seeing as the Rotten Tomatoes score is sky high. I still think just C is a little easier. The new Twisters film, starring Glenn Powell and directed by Lee Isaac Chung, is off to a whirlwind of a start as the flick is exploding at the box office with an estimated $72 million opening. And folks, because of this article, I now officially want to see this movie. I'm going to go watch Twisters. It's on Netflix. I'm going to go watch the original Twister, the singular, not the plural. I'm going to watch the original Twister tonight. This week, I'm going to go see Twisters, and we'll talk about it on this channel. We will talk about it. I am intrigued. Says the article, original estimates were around $40 to $50 million plus, but thanks to previews, which kicked off on Wednesday and a great Friday, Twisters brought in $31 million in its first day. And by the way, folks, I was looking at local theaters. The seats are packed. They are packed for this movie. What? Who saw this coming? The number will be the best for a natural disaster film, not counting inflation. Saturday update, Twisters is doing even better, now with an estimated $75 million opening. I felt like the mic was a little hot last time, so I'm turning down the gain. You guys let me know if the audio has any issues. Friday blew up with $32.2 million. I have to say, I really like this actor, Glenn Powell. I feel like he has huge potential. I think he could be a great Starfleet captain. Like if Terry Metalis were... I still think Ed Spaliers, who played Jack Crusher, would be a great Trek captain. He would be a great Star Trek captain. Am I wrong about this? Or at least like a... he'd be a really good right-hand man to a Star Trek captain as well, because he's got the kind of Riker energy. He could do that. Anyway, moving on. A bonus is also learned in that Twisters is not a preachy film. Though it's a meteorological disaster movie, it does not reference climate change or global warming. The director actually said movies shouldn't preach a message. Wait, what? Am I high? What's going on here? I don't think I heard that right. The director said that movies should not preach a message. What an idea! Quote, I just want to make sure that the movie, we don't ever feel like it's putting forward any message, Chung told CNN, that would be the director of the film. I just don't feel like films are meant to be message-oriented. Close quote. A scene does say storms and floods are becoming more frequent, but it's not in-your-face messaging. Quote, I think what we are doing is showing the reality of what's happening on the ground. We don't shy away from saying that things are changing, Chung added. I wanted to make sure that we are never creating a feeling that we're preaching a message, because that's certainly not what I think cinema should be about. I think it should be a reflection of the world. And what do you know, people? In other words, tell a good story, entertain people, and let the story naturally, whatever conclusions the audience is going to draw, bubble up through that story, organically. That's how it's done, folks. So the latest on the Rotten Tomatoes was a 78% critic score. See, they don't like it. There's a lot of the approved, intellectual, pedigreed class are disenchanted with its lack of forthrightness about the climate change crisis. And so they are very... Our approved betters are not pleased that this film is not diving into a bunch of climate change BS. BS! And then the audience score is 93%. I want to see if it's still... I want to see if it's changed at all. Going over to Rotten Tomatoes right now. There it is. Twisters. There you go. It's probably... No, dang it. Hang on. No. I clicked on the trailer. See, they do that. They put the trailer at the top. Featured movie. Folks, I cannot believe how hard it is to find. You have to search it. You cannot just look on the headline. It's the newest movie coming out. Why isn't it right there? Unbelievable. Anyway. All right, what are we sitting at here? 92%. 92% audience score. Very interesting. Very interesting. I want to look at one of the negative reviews. This is from an approved critic. The disaster epic desperately tries to replicate the magic of the original, but falls woefully short, largely due to a depressingly slight script from Mark L. Smith that gives its talented cast virtually nothing to work with. Well, that sounds reasonable. I mean, that's possible. I might agree with that. We'll see. Powell's rising star power and cheesy charisma is more memorable than the tornadoes. I'm coming down hard on a perfectly fine piece of summer entertainment. Summer entertainment, I know. But it's hard not to when I can remember the way the first made me feel as if it were yesterday and the sequel had already left my mind by the time I'd walked to my car. Interestingly... Well, there you go. That's pretty reasonable, actually. I can't really find fault with those thoughts. Though I may wind up agreeing, but I just find it fascinating, don't you, folks? Wrangler over there in the chat plugging the Star Shatter universe. Dropped a link in the chat. Thank you, Wrangler. Wrangler's... Oh, I already got that one. Neutron Pack is in the chat. Neutron Pack says natural disaster movies, always fun and easy to watch with a lot of blood-pumping excitement. We'll see. I mean, if it seems like it's kind of warmed over leftovers of the first one, I'm probably not going to be wild about it. But I am intrigued. The captain is nothing if not intrigued. So we'll have to check it out. Wrangler says, don't preach and the film does better. Who'da thunk it? Yeah, I mean, I've said this a lot, right? Great drama, great entertainment, great storytelling is when two parties, it doesn't have to be two people, it could be two parties are arguing and both are right? Which is to say that there is complexity and nuance on both sides and it's the audience that draws their conclusions. Now, that doesn't mean that the film isn't essentially putting forward a certain point of view. Generally, it is. But the point is, movies invite you to question ideas. Good ones, I'm speaking of course. Star Trek used to do this. Doctor Who used to do this. Propaganda storytelling, by comparison, has already decided what is correct. And really, I think the simplest way to put it is films that are written as a platform for the message are essentially written by people who think it is their responsibility to educate you. Which, whether consciously or not, means that these are people that think they're smarter and better than their audience. They think their audience is stupid, and they treat them as such. And that's why... Listen, everyone can sense. You can always sense when someone is looking down on you. It's innate to humanity. We just feel it. It's very difficult for people to disguise that. And so when a film is talking down to us, we immediately feel that exactly the same way we would feel it if a person in the street were talking down to us. And so that's the point. You are having a conversation with the audience or you are talking to the audience. In propaganda storytelling, it is not you that observes the film. It is the film which observes you. And it seems like Twisters has decided to just be a disaster movie and have fun with it. Not every single thing has to be some kind of political allegory. But let's on to other news. I thought we would celebrate, we would toast the end of The Acolyte with the Critical Drinker review of the episode 8. Let's grab that.
The absolute calamity that is The Acolyte week after week has been one of the...
Hang on a second. Let me restart that. Full screen hat tip critical drinker, the finest film reviewer extant on the internet.
You know, chronicling the absolute calamity that is the Acolyte week after week has been one of the most intellectually draining experiences of my entire career. It's like watching someone exhume the corpse of a beloved relative, bend it over a table, and do the kind of things to it that would make Tatiana blush, and then having to describe the whole thing in excruciating detail for the entertainment of others.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Well, this is it. The final.
That's a great way to put it. Emotionally draining. This show was emotionally draining to watch. Not because of any drama in the show, but because of how smart the show thinks it is, and how dull and just boring it is.
Final episode of this
Human!
So without further ado, let's get this crap over with. The episode begins with strong female protagonist wearing a gimp mask and breathing really heavy, which is how a lot of good Saturday nights begin for me, because she's just had a vision of her sister murdering Squid Game guy, because she can see into the future now, don't you know? Wow, that's a pretty useful skill right there. Shame it was never used or mentioned before or after this precise moment in the story. It's almost like the writers couldn't think of any other way to reunite the two sisters in time for the finale, so they just decided, what the hell, make and see into the future now, or something. So anyway, her and Discount Ezra Miller... In fact, forget that. This actor's officially getting upgraded to Premium Ezra Miller, because he's way better than that walking flesh lump ever was. Anyway, the two of them head off to Brendok to intercept strong female antagonist.
I love how you can hear how he hates the names of the planets. It's just the same way I do. I hate the... Brendok! Oh, it sounds Star-worthy, doesn't it? Ugh. You know, it is. Dude, May and Osha they are both girl boss. We literally had one girl boss actor who drops a diss track, right? She's the worst. She just like Rachel Zegler. She was like Brie Larson back in her really bad days. And the characters of May and Osha, they encapsulate all the worst components of the girl boss. They are stunning and brave at everything. They're the most powerful beings ever discovered. And the only reason Osha is not godlike powerful in the show, as this episode will reveal, is that she was being held back by the Jedi and their heteronormative dogma. And then you've got the added bonus of they're both morally despicable. They are morally awful, and the show loves them for it. So that they're just like Wanda, you know, in Doctor Strange Mom. They are so praised by the tone of the show because of the fact that they are stunning and brave because they do what they want.
And Squid Game guy, because don't you see the dramatic arc that's playing out here? Our story is about to end where it all began.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
That's right, George, you must be so proud of what's become of your creation. Oh yeah, and Darth Plagueis shows up for absolutely no reason, like he's been locked in a cave this whole time and only just found the exit right now. Is he an introvert who just wanted to be left alone, or does he get nervous around the ladies? Either way, I think someone better check up on Star Wars theory, because I suspect he's about to go full scanners on us. Anyway, flash over to strong female antagonist who's strapped to a table while Squid Game guy does battle with his most formidable opponent yet, the English language.
I noticed the way you take care of him.
And tries to explain what actually happened to the lesbian space witches, but strong female antagonist is more interested in escaping. How exactly is she going to do that, you might ask? Does she have some cunning plan up her sleeve? Some fascinating trick that none of us saw coming? Maybe she's going to use the power of the Force to break free? Nah, she just asks Pip to unlock her cuffs. Wow, lucky that Squid Game guy never thought to remove him, and that he's somehow able to understand that she needs to unlock her.
Wait, did I have this last Thursday? I think I did. I think I ran this review last Thursday. Now that I think about it. Oh well.
Cuffs, considering that he's a very basic droid that's just been reset to his factory settings and has absolutely no idea what's going on right now. It's even more lucky that his head also functions as a taser to disable Squid Game guy. I mean, there's just no limits to what this plot device... I mean, droid can do. So strong female antagonist bails out into an escape pod, and there's a pointless chase scene which is included just to eat up some screen time before Basil decides that he's on strong female antagonist side now and disables Squid Game Guy's ship so that she can escape.
Son of a...
What the actual Christ mother and fuck is going on? Why are you on her side now, you little shithead gerbil-faced arsehole? And why the hell does Squid Game Guy leave you aboard the ship when you've clearly proven yourself to be both a traitor and a saboteur? Fuck off, Basil. Oh yeah, and Squid Game...
Yeah, no, I definitely remember running this last week. Okay, so I think we've quite established the problems in the show. Let's have some, let's move it along, shall we? Where are we in the stack of stuff? First of all, you've got to see, so I was looking for some fun stuff on Twitter, X, formerly Twitter. I made the mistake of putting in hashtag Acolyte. Folks, you've got to see this. Look at this. Here we go. Let me, yeah, here. This is like one of the first tweets that comes up. The Acolyte gave us Cortosis and Kyber Crystal Bleeding and Lightsaber Whips, Force Vergences, and Darth fucking Plagueis. It should be a lore nerd's dream, but a YouTuber was mad about lesbian witches. Look, oh my god, it's like the absolute Tumblr crowd. The weird Tumblr crowd loves this show. Isn't it incredible that they never address, like, the actual arguments about it? They never address any, like, okay, how about all the lore it broke? How about the fact that the plot made no sense? How about the fact that it was boring and there were no actual surprises in the story? How about the terrible acting of a clear product of nepotism with Vernestra? Leslye Headland puts her own wife. Why aren't you curious? What Leslye Headland knew and when she knew it? The moral depravity of all of these characters, the moral confusion of it. All of that. There were so many things that were terrible about this show besides... what is the critique about lesbian witches? Because that's all there is. That's all there is. Why are we making fun of that? I'll tell you exactly why. I was just thinking about how you've got this coven of witches on the planet Brandok. Why are they there? What are they doing there? What is so important about that planet? Why did they leave? Where were they before this planet? And why did they leave there? And why did they come here? What is the purpose of the ritual? Why are they uniting these twins? Well, you know what's fascinating about this show? None of the characters, I was thinking about this. I think someone in the chat last week was asking me about whether I liked Chimera or didn't like Chimera, and I was kind of thinking more about that. And I was just thinking about the fact that, like, none of the characters in the show at any point ever work through their conflict at almost... How can I put this? Because I want to say they don't work through it deeper than a surface level, but they don't even work through it in a surface level. For example, the Jedi, when they first show up to the compound, they say, "We hear you have children here." They're like... "We don't have children here." "Oh, there's the children." "Well, you can't have them." "Well, we want them." And it's like, how come nobody ever explains a reason? I'm not even saying it has to be the genuine reason, but why does neither party ever try to persuade the other? Why does neither party ever try to justify the other? Why don't the Jedi explain what they're concerned? Even in private, they never clearly define what they're worried about. Why do the Jedi feel these children are in danger? Why should we as the audience believe that the children would have been better off with this coven? None of those questions are answered or even explored in dialogue, backstory, anything. Anything. So, the problem... I've heard a lot of people say that the Jedi did nothing wrong in the Acolyte. They were just trying to rescue these children from a cult. I don't actually agree with that. I don't know the moral... underpinnings of anything anyone did in this show. All I saw was people attacking each other for almost no rational reason whatsoever. So I'm not capable as an audience member of rendering a judgment. I can tell you what I sort of feel in my gut, which is, oh, that was a creepy ass witches cult. But I don't actually know what they were up to, like what they were even doing, so that there's no actual foundation for anything that happens in the show. Oh, so the fact that the audience is supposed to just assume that this is like some sort of Shire-like utopia, it's insulting. It's insulting to the intelligence of the audience, and it's clear that basically what it amounts to is lesbian fan fiction. And that's why it's hilarious to say they're lesbian witches. Because they're lesbian witches! But that's hardly... Oh, look at this one. The recent villains in Star Wars have been amazing! Oh my god, you've got on the bottom right here... What the hell was her name? The Red Witch in Ahsoka. One of the most boring characters of all time. And then you've got Giancarlo Esposito totally wasted as Moff Gideon. What is this one? The Acolyte, how it started and how it ended. They don't care. They don't care how you get there. They just care that it got there. They're just like, oh, she started out as good, and then she was bad. The end. Oh, that was such a good story. That was so good. You're brilliant, Leslye. These are all bots. They gotta be bots. This was sick, and I won't be taking any rebuttals at this time. Look at that. Let's see. Oh my god. Oh, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this, chat? Look at this post. This is possibly the best and worst thing I have ever drawn. 3 a.m. Milk Plagueis. Oh god, Jesus. So the first panel of this comic is Osha asleep in the arms of, oh, there he is, Chimere. She wakes up and finds Plagueis is getting milk out of the refrigerator, and it's super awkward. And I'm like, that's actually kind of funny. But what's really bad about this is clearly they like this idea. They like this idea that, you know, after she watches this guy murder people she was personally friends with in cold blood for no reason, with no character development whatsoever, is immediately sleeping with him. Folks, I finally understand truly the expression Raylos are weird. I understand it now. Because I used to like wonder why people why does Jeremy say that on Teenage Cove? Raylos are weird. I understand now. I totally get it. This transition was so good. Oh no! You go from this pathetic scissor fight to the lightsaber fight. Oh my god. This is who the show was written for. Like tens of people on Twitter that think this is all incredible. How the Acolyte should have ended. This might be good. You killed my mother. May, you literally started a fire. The witches had their weapons drawn on us, and your mother was turning into a ghost demon. I striked her out of pure instinct. I thought she was trying to kill us, and I feared for your safety. We never intended for things to end like that. All we wanted was a peaceful resolution, but the witches became hostile and made the situation worse. Still, I know I made a mistake, but that doesn't mean you can go on a murder spree. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable... Which is, he said none of that. He said absolutely none of that. If seeing Master Yoda wasn't enough reason why the Acolyte should get a second season, I don't know what the hell is. They don't care. They just don't care that there was any story. They don't care that there was any coherent narrative. Just whatever. It's pathetic, folks. It makes me sick. So, Wrangler. Yes, have the Scott Pilgrim versus the World guys turn that into a video game. Gotta run back in a bit. We'll see you, Wrangler. Joseph in the chat says, hello there. Let's see. I think wanted to join in a threesome. Oh, that would be Plagueis. Yes. Probably in that weird fetishistic, comic strip. Neutron Pack says, Chimere doesn't want an Acolyte. He wants a girlfriend. Joseph Ritchie says Yoda wasn't supposed to be in the episode. They refilmed and rewrote episode 8. 2 writers have confirmed this. So he wasn't that doesn't surprise me. I mean, the only thing that surprises me is that they didn't just put him in the beginning and totally ruin his character. God, that almost makes, if that's true, that makes it sound more spiteful because they know the backlash of the show. They know how tired the fans are of them taking legacy characters and ruining them. It's pretty impressive, the damage they were able to do with this show. The fascinating thing is, I didn't think they could really do... I mean, I didn't think they could do that much damage to the lore. It was set 100 years before the events of Phantom Menace. I mean, in theory, that seemed like it was somewhat removed from the events, and they could just tell this little isolated story. No. They rewrote basically all of the Star Wars canon with this show. They rewrote all of it. God, I'm going to tell you right now, I've said this before. If I were just now coming into Star Wars, like I had not become a fan of the original trilogy and the prequels, and I were just now discovering Star Wars, and I didn't know the difference, between legacy Star Wars and this, and I was just watching this shit, and I was just watching the new trilogy, and then I was watching these shows, and some of it I probably would have liked, I guess, probably Rogue One I probably would have liked or whatever. But I would have been like, I don't understand why people like this shit. This is dopey as hell. I would have been like, this is dopey, weird shit. I don't like it at all. So there you go. Joseph saying, Plaguey was supposed to be at the end of the episode as a cliffhanger for Season 2. But then Plaguey was moved, and then Yoda was put in Plaguey's original spot at the end of the episode. Here's the deal, Joseph. These writers need to learn how to write their own characters well before they start writing legacy characters. I mean, that's the real problem here. They're not able to write original characters with any depth, any consistency. Frankly, all of the characters in this, aside from being incoherent, were just boring and cringe and awful. So, well before you start rewriting Darth Plagueis and Yoda and whoever else, you need to be able to write your own characters. Joseph says, original runtime for Episode 8 was 43 minutes, then after refilming was changed to 48 minutes. I don't doubt it. Mahler had a great tweet on this, by the way. Let me load that up. Because Mahler's tweet just sums it up. Share screen. Here you go. Mahler says, we often joke about it, but key jangling right at the end will always work on Disney Star Wars fans. You can literally fill a season with decrepit dog shit writing, and it won't matter as long as you bait what might happen next time. It's so true. They have no clue what... Dude, can you even imagine what they'll have Plagueis doing? The damage they will do to that lore if this gets a Season 2, it will be awful. Absolutely garbage. So, that being said, the Acolyte may be over, but one thing that has not ended is the media's absolute naked, just pathetic thirst for Manny Jacinto. I give you... Hat tip GQ. Hang on a second. Get rid of that. I'm not going to subscribe. Do I have to subscribe? Come on. I'll just get the headline. How the Acolytes, Manny Jacinto, brought sexy back to Star Wars. Oh my God. This is unbelievable. Quote, I think baby oil goes a long way, the Sith Lord heartthrob tells GQ about turning the internet's collective needs to jelly. Quote, baby oil and wet hair. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Dude, who is the 50 Shades of Grey author? I always forget her name. 50 Shades of Grey author. No disrespect to E.L. James. That's her name. E.L. James. It's like they took all of Star Wars and they handed it over to E.L. James and her fan base. They're just like, they don't even care about lightsabers anymore. They just want to have erotica tales about dark Sith lords seducing unsuspecting women. Oh my god. With the Acolyte's first season all wrapped up, Jacinto talks training for those breathtaking fight scenes, what he learned after getting cut from Top Gun Maverick, working with Lindsay Lohan on Freaky Friday 2, and what he hopes to do in Season 2. Warning, spoilers for the Acolyte, who cares? I've got a bone to pick with Manny Jacinto. It's early, last Monday afternoon, a day before the 7th and penultimate episode of his hit Star Wars series, The Acolyte's first season debuts on Disney+. And we've both logged on to Zoom for our third interview in 3 months. We had built up something of a rapport, I'd thought, over the course of those first 2 conversations, but since the last time we talked, I've come to realize he'd spent sizable swaths of our previous chats lying straight to my face. I feel so bad, Jacinto tells me now, though his rascally grin says otherwise. I need to put out a press release before I formally apologize to all the journalists I lied to on this entire junket. The big, juicy fib in question, that Chimere, Jacinto's Acolyte character, was nothing but a goofy, innocuous comic relief smuggler. Quote, Han Solo without the Riz, as he put it to me during our first meeting in May, a few weeks prior to the show's premiere. As it turns out, Chimere was little more than a flimsy guise for the Stranger, the unnervingly vicious Sith Lord, whose true identity was revealed in the show's propulsive fifth episode. What's most striking about the Stranger is how undeniably, irrepressibly sexy he is. Oh my god, this is written by a man, by the way. I'm just letting you know. And I bet he's a straight man. Like, I don't even think this is a gay man writing this episode. I think this is... Dude, I think the straight men in the media are more horny for this guy than the gay man. It's amazing. By Yang Yi Go. Dude, all the straight shill men are the ones that are going nuts over this guy. Dude, what the hell is this? We're supposed to be telling a story about adventures in the galaxy far, far away, and this is they are printing rivers of ink on how sexy and hot Manny Jacinto is. They're just ogling him. Meanwhile, we've got to get rid of the male gaze. All of this looking and sexualizing women is bad. That's very, very bad. By the way, Manny Jacinto, oh my god. Han Solo, as Jacinto correctly alluded to, has plenty of Riz. What the fuck is Riz? What is that? What is that? But he hardly ever got to deploy it, beyond the occasional chaste kiss and cheeky one-liner. The less that's said about the anti-chemistry between Anakin and Padme in the prequels is the better. Oh, there it is! There it is, folks! Folks, they always do this. Every time one of these dog shit Disney Plus shows comes out, and it's crap, and everyone's shitting on it, what is the first thing they do? They start shitting on the prequels, and they shit on the original trilogy. They always do this, folks. And while Rey and Kylo Ren built up some genuine tension via Rian Johnson's, oh my god, so stunning, so brave, Bergman and Bogey-esque patter in The Last Jedi, it all fizzled out to nothing in that trilogy's dud of an announcement, The Rise of Skywalker. By contrast, when the Stranger is first unmasked, in the midst of a brutal Jedi killing spree in Episode 5, the camera movements and moody lighting appear engineered to maximize Jacinto's heart-throbbiness. His exposed arms are as taut and defined as the chassis of a Ferrari. His glistening cheekbones bisected by a pair of meticulously swooping bangs. Oh my god! I haven't read this far. This is unbelievable. I can't even believe, dude. This is like a tawdry dime romance novel. This isn't journalist. This is a male journalist, and I don't know for certain, but I believe I would almost lay money he's straight. I'm telling you, I'd lay money. Where was I? Bisected by a pair of meticulously swooping bangs appear even sharper and more menacing. I can't do than the lightsabers he's gripping. Oh my god. An episode later, the show doubled down, having the stranger and his abs bathe buck naked in a hot spring while flirting brazenly with OSHA after mass murder. I mean, one of the twin protagonists, played by Amanda Stenberg, sample dialogue after OSHA picks up the stranger's lightsaber, quote, "Feels good, doesn't it, to hold one in your hand again?" The internet, as you might expect, has suffered a complete and utter knee-quivering meltdown in the stranger's wake. "I just started chewing on cement," reads one tweet, posted alongside a horny fan edit of stranger clip set to Freak by Doja Cat. It's a close quote on this article for a second. Am I wrong about this? I thought GQ was a men's magazine. I seriously thought that. Isn't GQ supposed to be a men's magazine? Like a straight man's magazine, basically. It's about how, it's a cosmopolitan lifestyle magazine aimed at men, who want to dress well and they like the finer things in life. What the fuck is this? Like, what is this? I must be wrong about the target audience of GQ. But anyway, Manny Jacinto is about to lead me to places I wouldn't even go with a gun. Back to Star Wars, says another. Time went as far as to use Jacinto and the Acolyte as the impetus for a trend story. Quote, "The rise of the thirst trap villain. Not even Disney Plus's audio description is immune to Jacinto's physical gifts." I mean, I think baby oil goes a long way. Jacinto humbly deflects when I mention the widespread libidinousness he's caused. Oh, Jesus. Quote, "Baby oil and wet hair." That explanation vastly underplays the intangible stew of serious chops, quiet ambition, and yes, swoon-worthy good looks that has vaulted the 36-year-old from a breakout role on the cherished Mike Schur sitcom The Good Place to holding his own opposite Nicole Kidman on Hulu's 9 Perfect Strangers. What is that? I don't know. I haven't seen it. To this legitimate star-making turn in The Acolyte. He'll be lucky if his career survives it. Quote, "The stranger flips classic gender tropes of hypersexualization," Leslye Headland, the Acolyte's creator and showrunner, tells me over email. But a true sex symbol is someone who resonates emotionally with fans. Manny's magnetism is rooted in his acting, not just his physique. His ability to access vulnerability, empathy, and longing is very compelling. It's rare to catch an actor on the precipice of reaching a whole new level of celebrity, and rarer still to watch them experience the process in real time, as Jacinto did over the course of our 3 conversations. Oh my god, how long is this? Oh, it just goes on and on and on. This is unbelievable. I am curious about, in 2018, he was cast in Top Gun Maverick, a role for which he endured months of punishing flight training in actual fighter jets and a 2-day gym session to attend a dogfight football-ready physique. Let's see. I'm just curious what he had to say about that. But I'm going to move on, because I don't think I can handle much more. Oh my god, this article just goes on and on. Good Lord. I felt like there was something maybe at the bottom of this article. There's also the prospect of The Acolyte Season 2 still on the horizon. Oh, we're so excited! The show has yet to be officially renewed. Yeah, well, listen, failing upwards is the norm at Lucasfilm, so I won't rule it out. But Jacinto says there is still plenty of story he and the rest of the cast and crew would love to dive in on. What story, sir, madam, or it? What story? In the fan art I've seen, there's a good amount that implies something between OSHA and the stranger, he says. Who cares? That's enough of that. I am curious, though. I gotta look at I'm gonna pull up the bio on this author, Yang Yi-Yo. Let's just see what we see, shall we? Yang Yi-Go. Yang Yi-Go is GQ's style editor. Since joining the magazine in 2019, he has interviewed pro athletes, profiled movie stars, received hate mail for his opinions on sneakers, and written approximately 50 gazillion lists of the best. He wrote this himself, didn't he? He totally did. 50 gazillion lists of the best suits, shirts, socks, pants, jewelry, sunglasses, hoodies. You get the idea. Prior to GQ, Yang helped found the short-lived but not forgotten Canadian magazine Title, ran the website and style department of Sharp, and began his career as a researcher at ESPN. He is originally from Toronto, a thing he refuses to shut up about, I don't doubt it, but now lives in Brooklyn with his fiancée and their adorable but stinky dog, female fiancée. You can reach him at yangygo at, there's his, let's pull up his Instagram, shall we? I'm just curious, folks. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There it is. Yes. Fiancé is female. I told you. Did I not tell you? Fiancé is female, folks. I'm assuming. That could be a friend. That could just be a friend. No way you could deny that. But on the other hand, I'm telling you, this guy is straight. You look at the way he wrote that article. I'm telling you.
Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right!
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, look at this one. Definitely the fiancé. Gotta be the fiancé right there. Which, by the way, Mazel Tov, congratulations to him. I am simply saying, a straight, engaged to a woman male wrote about his swooping bangs. What the hell? What is happening, folks? Manny Jacinto is a thirst trap for straight men. That's the most amazing thing about it. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. They're not even leaving anything for the gay dudes anymore. It's really depressing, if you ask me. Joseph says, GQ equals going queer. Well, it doesn't seem to be aimed at straight men. I mean, I'm just saying, look, you know, I just assumed it was a men's magazine primarily aimed at straight men, and it's like this torrid 50 Shades of Grey article. Hansa Dostal is back in the chat. Says, could you play Knights of the Old Republic 2? Is there a second Knights of the Old Republic? I'm out of the loop on this. I actually just downloaded the original, and I didn't even realize it was a Xbox original game. Knights the Old Republic 2. Mm-hmm. That's where I do remember something about that coming out. That's a long time ago, huh? Huh. Well, I gotta check it out. All right, well, here's what I'm doing, Hansa. I am playing Knights of the Old Republic 1 right now, and it's so funny, too, because I'm like, yeah, this is classic BioWare. This is like a classic BioWare game. I can definitely see, like, the kind of antecedents to what later became Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Very cool. Anthony Timmons is in the chat and says hello. Hello, Anthony. Welcome aboard. Let's see. Joseph says, Acolyte Creator shares discouraging update on possible renewal. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that, Joseph. Leslye Headland begs the Acolyte viewers to launch social media campaign for a second season. Oh, they will. The Shills will. The Shills will do that. They will happily oblige, Leslye. Joseph says, did you hear that they were supposed to kiss at the end of the episode in the refilming, but Chimera said no? So Chimera is gay. I did not hear that. I did not hear that. Joseph says, I heard his scenes were cut from Top Gun. Maybe Tom Cruise knows more than we do. I doubt that. I think probably, yeah, there was probably just didn't make the cut. Just didn't make the cut. Fan art. You mean storyboards, because there's no such thing as fan art in the storyboard phase. Well, I mean, fan art is fans making art, I suppose. The problem is weird Tumblr fan art becomes storyboards. So there you have it. I thought I had an article about the possible season 2. Did I? I do have a report from the angriest man on the internet, Ryan Cannell. Let's see what he has to say, shall we? Share screen. Mr. Producer, if you would, sir. If you would, sir.
Now that the dust has settled for the Acolyte, that we finally have the entire series in context, that no one can make the excuse, well, you have to wait for this to be explained, you have to wait to see how they do this. We finally have all 8 episodes of this $200 million disaster, and it's clear that the fans who were worried about this from the beginning, who for the past 4 years, when we saw that Leslye Headland was attached, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, when we saw what they intended to do, the characters they wanted to bring in,
I'm losing my visual quality, not sure why.
the time era that this was set, all the potential issues that it could cause, all of our biggest fears were confirmed. The Acolyte is the worst Star Wars project that we have ever seen. And yet we see continuously that so many people around the production of this thing remain completely delusional. We've seen Leslye Headland, after every single episode, go out there and desperately try to do damage control, while the audience has made their voice clear. Now, despite the fact that we've seen it tick up a little bit, it went from, 14 to 17% over the past few days, most of this final fight scene tops The Phantom Menace and The Matrix. The people who are making this shit are truly fucking delusional. You think because you
so that's what they're saying. They're saying that those battles topped The Matrix, and Phantom Menace.
Bit of slow motion in there that at some points doesn't fucking make any sense what they're doing, that they would choose to use their feet or fists instead of their lightsaber, that Saul would just fucking deactivate his lightsaber in the middle of combat, put out on his belt, and decide to do a fucking slow-mo force thing when he could have kept his lightsaber and it just because you thought it looked so fucking cool. It's a fucking joke. Yet this is what these people actually think. Listen to this delusional lunatic. Taking place between the Sith Chimera and the Jedi Master Soul, the clash in question sees the two force users going all out in a life or death duel fueled by their respective romantic and parental feelings for Osha. That's a whole different story. Their battleground on Brent.
My God. Do you realize what they are saying there? Hang on, cough button for a second. Cough button. What they are saying there, they're implying... Well, I guess that's probably editorializing, but yeah, basically the episode implies that Soul has romantic love for Osha because as she's choking the life out of him, she says, "I love you," and it's like that means essentially that when we were memeing on the fact that he was like, "I feel a connection with her" when she was a child, it turns out the meme was true. The meme was true. Oh my God. The moral depravity of this show is unbelievable.
Doc Ruins that once played host of this year's resident Space Witch Coven, lesbian space witches, by the way, featuring lightsaber throws and anime-inspired dashes. While not the best fight ever put to film, it's admittedly one of the better ones seen throughout The Acolyte, if not solely for the fact that it's actually possible to see what the combatants are actually doing. Yeah, maybe that is true. Maybe that one is the best one we saw in this series. But this is what these people think. They truly think. That's the worst thing about The Acolyte. It's not just that it's dog shit. It's that it's dog shit made by people who think they're so fucking incredibly smart and talented that they've actually made something good. It's so pretentious. However, according to Headland, Chimera and Soul Showdown...
Okay, that is a brilliant point. Hat tip, Ryan Cannell, the angriest man on the internet. However, I am going... Since the quality there was kind of dropping, I'm going to share this tab instead. So this is from Bounding Into Comics. This is the article he was referencing. The Acolyte showrunner Leslye Headland, former assistant to Harvey Weinstein and Cube-Shaped Human, and, as Lieutenant Jim Dangle of the Reno Sheriff's Department would say, a very unfortunate-looking woman, believes Star Wars series finale fight scene tops The Phantom Menace and The Matrix. Let me see if I can find taking place between Sith Chimera, featuring lightsaber throws. Yes. However, according to Headland, Chimera and Soul Showdown is not just one of the best fights of the series, but of Hollywood overall. Oh my God! The staggering hubris of this woman is unbelievable, folks. Can you believe how delusional they are? This actually reinforces exactly my opinion of how these D+ shows are being made. Every single one of them is shit. Every single one of them. You know, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, Echo. And then you've got the Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3, Ahsoka. Every single one of them is Acolyte garbage. Garbage, folks. And I say they all have so many things in common, too. Boring, bland dialogue, superficial characters with no depth, convenience, and then this happen storytelling that doesn't have a consistent or logical plot. In a word, lazy. And my conclusion is these are stupid people who eat glue. I mean, these are stupid people that make this shit. And this is exactly the point. This is exactly the proof I'm pointing to here. This is why I say they're stupid people. Folks, they don't understand how dumb this shit looks to the rest of us. To the rest of humanity, they cannot see. They think that this was genius when they did stuff like this. Or this.
The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
They think they're geniuses at work, folks. No self-awareness whatsoever. Returning to the article, speaking to her creative process in bringing this scene to life, Headland told Collider's Maggie Lovett, quote, second unit director Chris Cowan and I, we were shooting for immortality. Oh my God. We were like, we're fucking going for it. We want to top Duel of the Fates from Phantom Menace. We want to top the train station in The Matrix. We will settle for nothing less. Oh my God, folks, the amount of money that they set on fire. Oh my God, the amount of money they spent on shit that looks like shit. I will leave it up to the viewer as to whether or not we achieve that, she added. But in my heart of hearts, I was like, we achieved that. As far as I'm concerned. Dude, she speaks just like a character in her stupid show. She says one thing, and in the very next half of the same sentence contradicts it. She just said, I will leave it up to the viewer as to whether or not we achieved that. But we achieved it. That's unbelievable. It's exactly like Master Indara, when she's like, we have every right to take these children, with your permission, of course. And what's super hilarious about this also is that she goes in every interview when she is confronted about people not liking the show or criticizing the show. She immediately says things like, well, they're looking at the wrong thing, or they're misinterpreting what's there, or they don't really have the right frame of mind about it. And then you get Amanda Stenberg, who goes on The View, and she's like, we welcome criticism, but all criticism is racist. And she thinks and speaks exactly like these stupid characters that she writes. Interestingly, resuming with the article, it seems Headland's decision to make Chimera vs. Soul her magnum opus came rather late in the Acolyte's production timeline, as earlier in the interview, the showrunner revealed that the Sith originally played no parts in the series finale. Quote, initially, we weren't going to see him in episode 6, explained Headland. In episode 6, she was going to leave him, go and do her thing in the finale, and then return to him at the end of the last episode. Oh my God, these people are so fucking dumb. They are so dumb. God. You've done none of the work. You've done none of the dramatic work necessary to justify that kind of a heel turn for a character. God, they want credit. They want credit for these incredible dramatic twists, and they've done none of the work to earn it. None of it. They are losers, man. They're amateurs. They're the worst kind of amateurs, these people. Quote, I saw Manny Jacinto's screen test in the helmet and in his cloak. I saw him learning his fight choreography and on the casting couch. I mean, and I thought there will be riots in the streets if I do not end the show with him versus Soul. That was what? Lady, that's obvious. That is basic. That's obvious. Nobody in the world. What alternative was there? Soul is basically the principal character that you have to face him. What else did you have in mind? Laughing, the showrunner concluded, so I rewrote the ending of the show for Manny. Well, oh my God, what was the original ending? Who did he fight in the original ending? Everybody's dead. This is fascinating. This is fascinating. Notably, Headland is not the first member of the Acolytes cast and crew to make mention of the series' particular intention to present viewers with a more iconic battle than the one that closed out the first Star Wars prequel. Speaking with Entertainment Weekly in April, Jackie Lawn actress Daphne Keane revealed, yeah, that was a very frequent conversation we had. It was very much, we want to top the Darth Maul fight, the most iconic fight, I think, in the Star Wars cinematic universe. Close quote for a second. This is the level of insanity, of insane hubris of these people. Their attitude should have been, we will be lucky if we are able to recreate something as brilliant as George Lucas's original vision. I mean, George Lucas spent years creating the Phantom Menace. He spent years crafting that film. All of the models for the characters, all of the storyboarding, all of the digital effects work that had to be done years before they ever started filming. All that, and you can argue with the final quality if you want, but the reality is George Lucas spent years working on those. And the Attack of the Clones, when did the Attack of the Clones come out? Let's see. Phantom Menace release date, because I remember it being a bit of a wait. What was the Phantom Menace release date? That was 1999. Okay, and then Attack of the Clones came out 2002. Yeah, so 3 years. It took 3 years to get from the Phantom Menace to the Attack of the Clones, right? And then Revenge of the Sith, my second favorite Star Wars film. Revenge of the Sith. That was 2005. So that was 3-year gaps. 3-year gaps between each of the prequels. Okay? And that was for a single feature-length film. So look at all the work and care Lucas put into those 3 films. These idiots were like, we're going to top that with a half-hour television show? The absolute hubris of these people. It's unbelievable. These are stupid people that have no business in an editing room, no business in a writing room. God, this is corporate goon politicking nepotism. Leslye Headland is a moron who does not know the first thing about running a show. She does not know the first thing about a coherent plot. And Bob Iger threw $180 million at this brainless woman. It's unbelievable, folks. They stack pallets of cash at Disney. They douse them in gas and they set them on fire. It's unbelievable. I cannot believe it. Decorum here. The captain will compose himself. Yes. Yeah. All right, where was I? Yes, I was reading the article. Speaking with Entertainment Weekly. Yes, I got that. There is such a skill and a craft to it. It feels so like OG Star Wars and feels so impressive when you see it as a viewer. That was what Jackie had to say. My God. Just utter hubris, folks. Utter hubris. It shocks me, folks. This is a live reaction here. I can't even, a part of me, I watch this, I see, the reaction to it, the low Rotten Tomato score, all of that. You see Headland going out there and deflecting and blaming the fans, and she does it more subtly than Amanda Stenberg. She doesn't exactly play the race bigotry card, but what she does is she says things like, "Oh, I think they're looking at the wrong thing." It's like, no, they're looking at what you created. But a part of me thinks, but deep down, that's kind of an ego defense, or she's got to toe the line for the company and the brand. She can't just say, "Yeah, I know, I really screwed the pooch on this." She's not going to say that. So a part of me is thinking that deep down, she kind of is like, "Damn, I really missed on this one." And then you read an article like that, you think these people think they're geniuses. God, what I would give for that kind of confidence as a writer. I'm serious, man. Look. I have it right here. Your captain is an author. This is my first book, Blood and Oak. That's me, right there. Blood and Oak by your dear Captain Garrett. And the second book, which continues the story. I'm actually more proud of this book. It's epic. Wolves Will Eat. That's my main character at the center, John Sullivan. Right? He's a daring man of action in the U.S. Navy in 1803. That's his, on the, I guess, from your perspective, on the right there, that would be his squeeze, Dominique, and on the left, his sister. And then his ship on the lower, and then at the bottom there, you see them fighting the bad guy. Yes, that's it. Anyway, folks, I had to overcome, and still, as I continue to write, have to overcome a massive amount of resistance. Imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough for this. I'm not good enough. This story isn't good enough. Oh, this plot doesn't make enough sense, or I haven't done enough research. Folks, it's hard to get through that. I would argue that George R. R. Martin is in the throes of a massive case of resistance, folks. He can't write that last book, Winds of Winter, because, my God, the pressure is huge. And he's been drawn into things he likes better. He was originally a TV writer. He wrote that show Beauty and the Beast in the 80s with Linda Hamilton. That was his real passion, was writing TV. And now he gets to do that. He's writing House of the Dragon. He's helping write it anyway. And he's developing other TV shows. So he is stuck in that. So what I'm saying is, having the ability to move forward as an artist, even when you doubt yourself, even when you have imposter syndrome, and even when you've got the internal critic is going apeshit, and you're able to put words on paper anyway, folks, that's how winning is done, as Rocky would put it. That is how winning is done. You keep moving forward, folks. I'm going to tell you right now, I envy idiots like Leslye Headland that are so dumb. They're like, oh my God, we're going to top the Phantom Menace. Oh my God, this is so great. Excuse me, Miss Headland, it has a 14% score on the audience for Rotten Tomatoes. Is her answer, oh my God, I was wrong about everything. Oh no, I wasn't ready for this. Oh no, I'm not the writer that I thought I was. What, is that her reaction? No, she says, well, I think they're just, like, watching the wrong thing. I think they're just saying it wrong. Oh my God, you'd be unstoppable. You'd be unstoppable. I could write pages and pages. I could just print novels, like, left and right if I had that kind of stupid confidence. God, it is a thing to be envied, is my point. It's quite remarkable. Quite remarkable. Let's see. Joseph says, did you hear that thousands of Disney workers are going on strike? I did not. I was actually looking for kind of some headlines. Disney strike? Thousands of Disneyland workers vote to authorize a strike. So it looks like parks workers. Interesting. Over 15,000. Hansa says, please don't be angry. If you continue with it, while you will be 60 years old, you may get stroke. Stop watching Disney Star Wars and focus only on Star Wars Legends and be happy. Legends isn't my thing. No offense. Is Legends what they're calling the extended universe? That would be like the old Heir to the Empire. If that's the case, good advice. I'm not really angry, Hansa. I'm just having a little fun. Don't take me too literally. I'm not angry. I just like to yell. I'm passionate. Hansa, I am passionate. It keeps me young. Joseph says, Hansa, Star Wars Legends, it's just as bad. But by the way, if you love the Acolyte, it's the best thing since sliced bread in your opinion. No offense. Don't take offense. You are welcome here on the Captain's Cast. We're nerds. We argue. We disagree. Look. I love Stranger Things. I love it. It's like one of my favorite shows of all time. It's the best thing Netflix has ever created, bar none. I love all four. I have my problems with seasons 2, 3, and 4. However, I love all the seasons. I love all of them. Actually, I kind of have my little quibbles with season 1 even. The kids yelling all the time gets kind of annoying. But that's neither here nor there. But some of my favorite YouTubers think that season 2 and 3 is dog shit. Like, dog shit, worthless. And the funny thing is, some of the things they like about season 4 are the things I don't like about season 4. So, but does that take away my enjoyment? Not at all. Now, I do feel that if you are going to respond to criticisms of a show that you like or dislike, either way, I think you should try and offer a defense of your position on some merits. That's all. That's all. Doesn't mean we have to agree. Star Wars Legends. What is Star Wars Legends? I just want to get clear on this so I know what I'm talking about. Because I'm kind of a Star Wars adjacent fan. I was looking for a quick definition. How about this? What is Star Wars? Oh, hang on. I forgot Wars. There it is. Star Wars Legends, formerly known as the Expanded Universe. I think that's... No, Hansa's right about this, in my opinion. I think, the extended... I've said, Hansa asked me on the last stream, if I had control of Lucasfilm, what would I do? And I said I'd fire everybody except maybe the 5 to 10 people maximum that are actually talented there. I would decanonize everything Disney's done so far. Even the good stuff like Rogue One and Andor, I'd decanonize all of it. I'd make a public announcement that we have decanonized all of that and we have restored the original George Lucas canon, right? Which is, goes in order of priority. It goes films, I believe, animated shows, video games, books. I think that was and that would be the Extended Universe, AKA Legends. And then what we would do is we would announce a sequel to the original Star Wars trilogy that is meant to continue the story of Luke Skywalker. It would not be a trilogy announcement. It would not be an Episode 7 announcement. It would just be an announcement of one standalone film. And we would take our time. We would be very transparent with the process of making it, very open to fan feedback around the board. And someone else asked me in the chat last time, and I missed it. They said, are you worried about too many cooks in the kitchen? No, I'm not. I wouldn't be worried about that at all. Because what I would do is I would make sure there was a single individual with vision leading the ship, which at the studio level in this, fictional scenario would be me, the captain. But I would make sure that I hired to direct or write the films someone that had singular vision, such as like a Tony Gilroy, who I think was very talented with Andor, for example. To put it more precisely, someone like Takashi Yamazaki of Godzilla -1, who is a writer and director and special effects supervisor all in one. He oversaw every level of that film. He did some of the special effects himself. He had a bold, singular vision, and he led his people to execute on that vision. That's how you avoid the cooks in the kitchen problem, right? You have a singular vision, and you trust that vision because you have to choose the right person. The person with it's not just someone that is brilliant, because there's lots of brilliant auteurs, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be... they're not going to necessarily be a team player in a shared universe like this. Like, for example, Taika Waititi, not a good team player. That's partly why he's kind of brilliant as a director, but he kind of sucks as part of the MCU because he doesn't give a shit about how it connects to everything else, right? So you got to have the right balance of things. And so my point is that I would draw heavily on the extended universe. I would draw on that lore, and I would look at what is the most popular elements of that lore and what would best translate to a new film. And that one singular film would have a hook at the end for a possible trilogy. So basically, just like the original Star Wars film, it was a standalone story, but there was that hook for future stories. And if it was successful, we'd have we'd have a trilogy, but only if it proved itself, and that's what I would do. Anthony says, SpongeBob headlamp, she has a square head. That is an accurate observation, Anthony. Joseph says, House of the Dragon 2 ratings are not doing well. Better than the Acolyte, though. Yeah, I was nervous after 3 episodes of kind of like not a lot happening, but that 4th episode with the dragon fight was unbelievably good. That was unbelievably good. Or was that episode 3? Was that episode 3? I think that was episode 3, was the dragon fight, and we just had episode 4. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see how it goes. I think that House of the Dragon, this is true of like all Game of Thrones seasons. All of them are like this. They start out kind of slow. They have explosive moments along the way, but they always build to something kind of massive at the end of the season. And it's such a layered, careful, brick by brick storytelling approach that when you get to the end, the big payoffs are really big payoffs. But I did think that dragon fight was unbelievably good. There were so many crazy good payoffs in that episode. I was pretty happy. I was very, very happy. So I think if people are patient, their patience will be rewarded. One of the frustrating things with a show like The Acolyte is that in the early episodes, okay, or Ahsoka is another good example of this. In the early episodes, there are some elements of it that seem clunky or don't make a lot of sense that could just be there's about to be a reveal that will make things more clear. That doesn't mean it's like the best writing ever, but it does imply that maybe we as the audience just don't have all the facts yet. And you'll notice that the shills who will just defend anything Disney to the death, this is what they always say. They always say, oh, well, you can't criticize the show because you haven't seen the next episode yet. Then the next episode comes out. It's complete nonsense. And then what do they say? Well, you just don't like the show because you're right-wingers and you're mean. And it's like, no, that's not why we don't like the show. So the problem is that a lot of these shows like The Acolyte and Ahsoka, they sort of pretend that they are going to pay something off, and then they just don't. So I can understand getting antsy when you've been conditioned that you're always going to be sort of ripped off at the end. But so far, House of the Dragon has proven to be really good at paying off setup. So I'm excited. Hansa says, replace Dave Filoni with Tony Gilroy. I would fire Dave Filoni. Get the hell out. You are, turn in your badge. You are banned from the premises. Get the hell out. That's what I would do with Dave Filoni. As far as I don't know. I would have to vet Tony Gill. I'm more saying that like I would be looking for a director and writer of the film that would be that would have several qualities. Number one, clear, proven talent. Right. So in other words, a list of credits. Let me show you something, Hansa. Let me just show you something real quick. Do you want to see part of the problem with Disney? They don't believe in credentials. That's part of their problem. So, for example, let's take a look at the worst film of 2023, which would be Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Nausea. Okay, this film was a mess. It was a nightmarish fever dream. It was boring. It was awful. It had cringe humor that made me squirm in my seat. I would have walked out of it, but I was with a party, and you can't. So I would have had to get an Uber, and I didn't want to do that. So in any case, present, share screen. Now let me show you who wrote Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That would be one of my favorite hapless studio writers, Jeff Loveness. Oh my God, I love the picture of this guy. Look at this is a masculine man who is in command. Look at that. That is a man that could lead men into the jaws of hell. Look at him. He knows he's a look at that. That is the face of a man who he's like, I do not belong here. I do not have the credentials. Okay, what was the budget of this film? Budget of Ant-Man. Yeah, there it is. It was $326 million. My God, folks, $350 million. They gave this dude, right? I mean, not exactly gave to him specifically, but you get my point. As a writer, his responsibility was to be the writer on this movie. Do you want to see his credits? This is what he's known for. Let me get his full writer credits, okay? He wrote, before Ant-Man and the Wasp, he wrote on Rick and Morty. Okay, great. He wrote a cartoon comedy for 6 episodes. Great. Okay. Miracle Workers, what is that? I don't know. He was a story editor, not a writer. Stock, whatever that is. The Oscars. Special material for the Oscars. The 68th Primetime Emmy Awards. Jimmy Kimmel Live. He wrote Jimmy Kimmel jokes, which aren't even funny. Mostly an accident. It's a short film. He wrote for that. Let's see, what else did he write? He wrote for the Onion News Network. In other words, he had written basically nothing. Nothing. This man was given the head writing position on a $326 million budget. Ridiculous. And by the way, this is a common trend with Disney writers. Go look up their IMDb's on these dog shit films. A lot of them are just like this. They have no credits. They've never written anything before. Now, compare that to Tony Gilroy, who wrote Andor, which was definitely the best, definitely the best show Disney Plus has ever had, 100%. But not only that, okay, Tony Gilroy was the fireman that they brought in to rescue the failing disaster that was Rogue One. Rogue One is, in my view, the best Disney Star Wars film. I like Rogue One a lot. I think it works really well as a film. I really don't have many complaints for it. I do think Jyn Erso is, in retrospect, a little boring as a character. Fine. I did like Andor as a character in that film also. I thought that was interesting. It was kind of a gritty look. Anyway, my point is, this is right after Force Awakens. You got to remember, this is right after Force Awakens. There's a lot of goodwill for Disney. That was if there was a golden age for Disney Star Wars, that was it, right? Because we hadn't seen Last Jedi yet. We hadn't seen Solo yet. None of that hell had happened. The second film that Disney Lucasfilm was working on, Rogue One, was turning into a production nightmare. It was falling apart. The film was a mess. And it was looking like it was going to be a disaster. They brought in this guy to fix the script. So the only good Disney Star Wars film is because of this guy. Now let's take a look at his credits. Let's go to writer. Writer credits. Okay. He was screenplay Rogue One, The Great Wall, never saw that, but The Bourne Legacy. Let's see, he wrote the entire Bourne trilogy, The Bourne Ultimatum, The Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Identity. Arguably, very good films. He wrote Michael Clayton, actually one of my favorite films. I love Michael Clayton, brilliant legal thriller. Highly recommend it. Proof of Life, Russell Crowe film, that was pretty good. Armageddon, I mean, we could argue about that. The Devil's Advocate, which, it's a bit of a B movie, but I love The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves. And he's the son of the devil, who is played by Al Pacino, and they're lawyers. It's fantastic. Extreme Measures, Dolores Claiborne. So in other words, he had credentials. So I would hire. I'm not saying I would. No, Joseph. I'm not saying I would hire Tony. I'm saying, as an example, I would look at what are the credentials. I might, is what I'm saying. I might hire him. But what I'd be looking for is credentials, actual talent, and then I'd be looking at their professional mindset. Like, are they arrogant little narcissists, such as Taika Waititi or Rian Johnson? Actually, Rian Johnson's also not actually talented, so I'll leave him aside. So in other words, they would have to be capable of carrying the vision and understanding that the fans are our employers, the audience are our employers, and we're going to treat them with respect. And the second thing is talent. So that's how I would do it. Anthony says, my internet keeps dipping out. I don't think it's your internet, Anthony. I'm getting kind of a warning. I'm hardlined in. I think my internet's just crapping out a little on me, so sorry about that. Anthony says, I tried to write 2 short stories and was told they were too wordy, whatever that means. That's a typical problem with when you're starting out as a writer, or just as a matter of skill. Shakespeare was famous for saying brevity is the soul of wit. So yeah, I would say, you said you tried to write 2 short stories. I mean, I wouldn't look at that as stop writing. I would look at that as, that is if you want to pursue it. I would look at that as feedback, right? So all writers early in their craft tend to do this. I did this a lot, which is too many words, too many adjectives, too many adverbs. You want to condense things, shorten things, tighten. So, yeah. Joseph, yeah, you're saying you wouldn't hire Tony. Hansa says, did you ever visit Star Wars Celebration? I did not. I really am at heart more of a Trekkie. I really am. Joseph says, I would bring in Nolan's wife. Oh, no. No, not Jonathan Nolan's wife. No. Starfieri is in the chat and says, beware CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike. Remind me, what is that, Starfieri? I cannot remember what CrowdStrike Microsoft update. I am on a Mac, so I should be safe. Oh, check out this headline real quick. The Acolyte Creator. That would be Lesbian Headlamp. Says she has heard nothing about getting a potential season 2. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think it's happening yet. But we'll see. You're saying Nolan's wife, her name is Emma Thomas. You know, I might consider. I love Christopher Nolan. Fantastic writer and director. You'd have to have a really long conversation with him, I think, before you could hire him. But I was thinking about that as like running a Star Wars film, like directing a Star Wars film with the option for a trilogy, right? I wonder if that would be his wheelhouse. I feel like he's a disciplined enough creative that if he felt the Star Wars universe was wrong for his style, he wouldn't do it. I tend to think that. So I don't think you'd have a problem with him having like a hubris about it. Like if he knew that my tone is going to be wrong for this, I'd be interested though, because Batman Begins and The Dark Knight what they did for Batman was incredible. Could you have Nolan do a Superman film? I don't know. That might be the wrong tone, but I tend to think Nolan could do Star Wars. I think he could. I think that could be really awesome. Starfury says, CrowdStrike Microsoft update took down several servers all over the world, causing outages across multiple industries for the last several days. Good to know. Thank you for looking out, Starfury. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Well, so we've seen straight men writing GQ articles about how sexy Manny Jacinto is. That is the weirdest thing. That's the weirdest thing to me. He's engaged to a woman. He's like just talking about his sweeping hair and his bangs and his abs and his baby oil. What the fuck? But listen, there is a type of fan. There is a type of member of the audience that loves all of this. It's great. This is perfect. They just love Osha and May, so stunning, so brave. There's nothing Disney could do to them that could be low enough or humiliating enough that they wouldn't just say, give me more Disney. They are what is known as shills. And shills suffer from a debilitating disease called shillery by proxy. There is no bar too low. There is no character too boring or stale. There is no plot too incoherent. They love it, so long as there are colorful lights in it. And there is a man who studies these shills. His name is Grizzy. And folks, I have been waiting all week for his video to drop. I want to see what their reaction is to the Acolyte season. Actually, it's probably the series finale. So without further ado, I give you Grizzy. Take it away, Grizzy. Let me put a like on that video first, and go.
You have enough things in life to worry about. Losing your hair does not have to be one of them. Stand up and finally say, I'm tired of losing my hair, and I'm not going to anymore.
That was Leslye Headland's wife, by the way. Now, was her performance in this series memorable or significant? I don't think so, and neither do you.
Well, like anyone cares about fucking dykes.
Oh my god.
It's the mask.
Yeah.
I thought it
But it
was
still
something
sounds-
else.
Damn whore.
You thought they were doing each other.
That's for you, Star Fury. One more time. I just love this. Dude, is this a real line?
But it's still...
Star Fury, when did Garrus say this in the Mass Effect trilogy? I need to know. When did Garrus say this? Look, I've logged probably 400 hours on the Mass Effect trilogy. I mean, seriously, folks, I have a sick obsession, okay? I do not... If he said that, I would remember it, I feel like.
Something else.
Damn whore.
You thought they were doing each other, didn't you?
Hang on,
But it's
I
still
can
something
probably...
else.
Damn whore.
Let me see. Okay, what? I'm trying to guess what mission this must have been. This is definitely... I think this is the second game, because it looks like the Normandy, maybe, second game, and he's standing in front of, like, maybe he's in the CIC. Maybe you could figure it out for me. Stop here.
You thought they were doing each other, didn't you?
Oh my gosh!
Oh
my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
So we go together and see who gets to her first.
And maybe make out on the ship on the way.
You're not even sisters.
You're
Oh! Pip! She's using Pip for bad, and I don't like it. As I like Pip.
Shut the fuck up, you fat fucking cow.
I think the Jedi are a massive system of unchecked power. How is your...
This guy sounds like he's made serious efforts in transitioning into a woman, surgery and all.
This would mean I'm not really a woman. I'm just a guy with a mutilated penis. Basically, yes.
Disney just couldn't help themselves, could they?
Hang on, this is gonna be bad.
Is it Plagueis? It's Plagueis! Is it Plagueis? Is it Plagueis?
Oh, that's Plagueis! Oh my god!
It's Plagueis! It's Plagueis! It's Plagueis! That's Plagueis! It's Plagueis!
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
That was Plagueis.
God, they demand so little. They just demand so little. It's unbelievable. Dude, that's it. Like, what you saw is it. Nothing else. There is nothing else implied. There is nothing else discussed. The character does nothing else in the show. It literally is just, there he is. And the weird thing is, there's no context for it. Like, what, is he just sitting around the cave? Where did he come from? How long has he been there? None of that is clear. So they could have literally just added that as an afterthought. But the Shills don't care. They're like, whatever. Oh, that's Plagueis. Oh my god. Oh, roll tape.
Am I wrong? That looked like a mun.
That looked like a man.
You didn't say it right.
I think my balls just warbled.
Hey, now.
Well, I guess he likes the cock after all.
That was Plagueis!
Yes, you fucking...
That was Plagueis!
Fucking Lich Lord motherfucker.
Dude, he looks so good!
You know, because you met with Dave Filoni and Leslye
There it is.
a week before this show came out, I don't find your reactions genuine. I look at this and see, please Lucasfilm, invite me back for the next show and I will continue shilling for your content and doing fake scripted reactions like this.
Wait, what?
He's fake.
Hello? Is that a witch? Oh my god, if that's Coril or whatever her name was that ruined everything
no.
and I hate her,
Oh no.
I would not be surprised.
You're not very bright, are you?
Oh, it's Mother Coral, bitches.
Oh, that's poetic justice. Oh, they do. Dude, they do this all the time. They do this all the time. The writing in these shows is so bad. There's no questions are answered. It's mystery box bullshit. The plot's totally incoherent. So they'll sit there and just do headcanon. And they'll go, oh, this must mean this, and this must mean that. And so they got caught. They got caught doing it. They're trying to write the show for her. And they don't even realize. You dumb idiots. That was supposed to be the jangly keys. You were supposed to get excited for Plagueis. Oh my god, it's Plagueis. Disney, step on my face.
A bunch of dumbasses. Yeah, really.
Is that Pelagius or something?
This is highly unorthodox, but I shall see what I can do.
Who is she talking to? Was that Palpatine?
Smash the like button if you think these people are idiots.
Do it.
That was very Anakin Holloway right there.
Fuck off, cunt.
This shot? Okay. Incredible.
Bro!
Yes. Seriously, is it just me, or do the lightsabers themselves look kind of dumb in Disney? I'm serious about it. They look kind of bland and boring. I think it's the new effects they use behind the scenes, but they just don't look as good as they did in the films. There's something weird about how they do the effects on those.
Yes!
Oh my goodness! Soul! Soul!
Why the fuck is you so loud?
That was cool.
That's ow! Oh, it could come back though. It could come back like a boomerang. Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Holy crap! What's about to happen?
Nice! Sick. Damn!
That was awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome.
That was shit.
Let's go! Bro. Oh my god.
That was incredible.
Oh my god.
These guys would give Dave Filoni a hand job if it meant more Disney Lucasfilm access. I can just see them sitting in his office like,
You want us to twist what is long with our sensitive hands?
He wants us to.
Dude, that movie is amazing. I think it's called Your Majesty. This movie is hilarious.
To jerk him off.
I could have used like twice the length, but I'm happy to take what I can get, honestly.
Damn whore.
Woo! The martial arts is really fun in this.
Nice.
Oh, that was cool.
Wow, that was really nice.
That was nice.
this is
God.
absolute dog shit.
Oh, this is cool.
This is really cool.
No.
Interesting. Cool.
No.
Oh, that's gotta be my favorite. Interesting cool. Interesting cool.
Damn, Soul is a fucking boss.
No! God damn it.
No, she's going to the dark side right now. It's over.
It's like Anakin.
Get the fuck out of here!
I can't believe I have to say this, but this is not like Anakin.
Oh, it's bleeding.
Are you seriously gonna cry over this?
I'm glad you did.
That's a perfect clip.
Oh my god.
I liked that scene. I bought that scene.
Look at her.
Oh, that's amazing. I liked that scene. I bought that scene. I like that. I like that scene. I bought that scene. That's a good scene. That's a very good scene. Right now, where is Mr. Producer? What are you doing, Mr. Producer? One more time. This is gold.
God. I liked that scene. I bought that scene.
I liked that scene. I bought that scene. I just can't even with these. It's unbelievable. I liked that scene. I bought that scene. That's gotta be, that's the one, man. That's the best Shill reaction I've ever seen. But, you know what's incredible to me is, like, I've said before, at the end of watching that episode, I felt disgusted. I really did. It was like I had just watched something that was morally awful and depraved. And it's like none of these characters explain themselves. None of these characters have good reasons or even just reasons for any of the things they do. So why am I going to enjoy watching one character force strangle another? It was just awful. Awful, this show.
Look at her. She's a regular old Darth Vader.
Go fuck yourself.
If I can find you, so can the Jedi.
And so Osha agrees to train with the stranger. In exchange, he will let May live. He agrees, but only after he wipes the last 16 years of her memories, which reminds me of how Revan lost their memories in Knights of the Old Republic.
We need to talk.
Jingle keys.
Oh, shit!
Yoda!
Yes! Yes!
Yes, yes.
Oh, Yoda!
Yes! Oh!
Wait, was that the Ronald Reagan? It was! It was, yes! No,
yes!
He needs to show the whole clip. He needs to show the whole clip. Because you see it a real clear shot of Ronaldus Maximus just bam, bam. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Trump did a cameo in a movie and they had a clip like that? Oh my god.
Oh!
And that's it?
Fucking go!
That's the Acolyte Season 1.
Fucking yes! Fucking yes! Yes!
Ah! Ah! Oh, yes! Yes!
Thanks for watching, everyone, and thank you for watching.
Oh my god. Hat tip, wait, hang on. There we go. Fix that. Hat tip Grizzy! A man, a scholar, a gentleman. Well, he's got an iron stomach, folks. I couldn't do what he does. It just would make me too ill. It just would. But look, someone has got to study the Shill. They have to study the Shill and to it how they think we must understand the Shill. If we are ever to prevent this disease from continuing to the next generation. Star Fury says, heavy breathing was recorded whilst Headlamp was watching Manny She is a lesbian, I thought. I was given to understand. But it appears that lesbians are really good at writing torrid male romance scenes for straight males. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. All these straight men are the ones telling us about Manny Jacinto and how hot he is. It's so weird. Oh, God. Starfury says, that's not Plagueis. It's an old hobo wanting people to be quiet. I think it was Mahler. It was saying that there was like a meme going around that he's mad because he needed the Wi-Fi password and they're leaving. It's like, damn it, I needed the Wi-Fi password. It's pretty hilarious. Crouching Jedi hidden talent. Yes, exactly. Starfear says, the damn whore line was done by voice actor Mark Mears for a fan, and they stuck it in a meme. Okay, really? Okay. All right. So I was right. So Garrus never said that. Now, listen. Garrus is the character in Mass Effect that if that were a line, it could very easily have been Garrus who said that. Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up, Stoff Yeti. I have to tell you, I feel a little bit like I've been told Santa Claus isn't real, you know. I mean, he is. I mean, there shouldn't be any kids watching this, but if there were, I would just say that he definitely is. Anyway, yeah, it's like finding out that, I was kind of excited on my next Mass Effect playthrough. I was gonna be looking for Garrus saying "damn more." I was like, it's gotta be one of the dialogue options I'm not choosing. That's gotta be what it is. That would have been so fun to find that. Seriously. Well, there goes the Acolyte. You know what's fascinating is I wouldn't be surprised if they get a season 2. Because they're just gonna keep making this crap. But in a couple of days, nobody's gonna remember. This whole show's gonna be forgotten. I really don't think most of those shills, they just like that Star Wars is a platform. That's what they like about it. They don't give a shit about story structure. They don't give a crap about lore. They don't care about any of that. They just want the platform. So, in any case, try this headline, my dear sailors and starnauts. This from Forbes. Cancelled Halo show will try to live elsewhere. It shouldn't. By Paul Tassi of Forbes. Let me see if I can kill some of these ads. Jeez. Trying to get rid of some of them anyway. It was the most watched premiere in Paramount Plus history. Yes, folks. If you didn't know, Halo and Master Chief, as played by Paul Schreiber in the nude, Pablo Schreiber, has been canceled. Or as I like to call him, Buttface. The man has a face shaped like a butt. It's not my fault, folks. I'm just pointing out objective facts. Let's see. I should have this. Do I have this? I can't find it. I did a screen cap to illustrate why I call him this. And I can't find it. Oh, well. Another time, perhaps. But in any case. He just, because he takes off his helmet in the show and he just mushes his face all over the screen. But anyway, as the article points out by Paul Tassi, it was the most watched premiere in Paramount Plus history just 2 short years ago. But now the Halo show is dead. Canceled before a season 3 that would lead more directly into the events of the mainline games. Oh, BS! BS it would be leading into the games. No chance of that. Reportedly, Halo will be shopped around elsewhere to try and find a new home that is not Paramount. But I'm just here to say, no. Stop the match. Throw in the towel. It's time to put this thing behind us. Well, for once, I agree with Paul Tassi. In an era of prestige, Emmy-nominated video game series like The Last of Us, bullshit, that was garbage. Garbage. And Fallout, worse garbage. The Halo show felt like a relic of 2005, a poorly adapted, budget-scarce source material allergic experiment that mostly upset fans and appealed to few. It had a so bad it's almost good first season, which involved Master Chief having sex with a human covenant prisoner of war. Jeez. The phrase Master Cheeks was born out of its frequent nudity of a hero never seen outside his armor. Season 2 did improve in some ways. No, it didn't. But upgraded itself to okay at best. And it certainly was not setting the viewership records of the first season, given how that went. Dude, I watched the first episode of this, the first episode of season 2. It was complete it was just like The Acolyte. It was just like it. Complete nonsense. Situations that are total plot contrivance, and then this happens storytelling. The same bullshit. I mean, I don't even understand what it is. It's like there's something in the water. These are just, they go and find the dumbest people possible to make this shit. I'm trying to see if I can, do I have an ad blocker? Hang on a second. I thought I had an ad blocker on here. No. Disallow. Resume ad blocking on this site. Yeah, let me try this again here. There you go. Yeah, see, they won't let me. They won't, I have to allow the ads. I need an ad blocker that circumvents ad blocker detectors. In an era of prestige, yes, I got that part. Wow. Just wow. Oh my God. Can you believe this? You can't read articles. You cannot read articles on the... Oh, gee, I wonder why nobody wants to read legacy media. Season 2 did improve, got that. All right, I realize that the complaint that showrunners and producers don't respect the source material is overdone. No, it's not. At this point, and is used to lambast many productions people don't like for one reason or another, fair or agenda-driven. But here, it's accurate. The show positively refused to give Halo fans an accurate take on the world. That he is dead on right about that. This show hated Halo. This show hated the fans. It hated Master Chief. It refused to give fans an accurate take, with the eternal point of contention being the fact that Master Chief actor Pablo Schreiber, AKA Buttface, would not leave on the helmet for more than brief sequences when that's Chief's whole thing. Honestly, my beef with that is a problem in the show, but it's a symptom. It's a symptom of a larger disease, right? Which is the entire show is wrong-headed. And honest to God, the plot, nonsensical, characters, it was bad melodrama. You've got Master Chief, right, who in the video games, Master Chief is a grizzled, no-nonsense man of few words. He is taciturn. He is a taciturn hero. He doesn't say hardly anything. All he said, for example, Cortana warns him, but Chief, what if you miss the Covenant ship? I won't. That's Master Chief. He doesn't have to say much because he's Master Chief. In this show, he goes to an AI brothel and he cries and masturbates to an AI that he makes pretend is Cortana. It's pathetic, folks. And then he blames the fans for not liking that he performs Master Chief in the nude. Anyway, resume quote. And for years, it has not been able to build an effective character this way, but hopping over to a rival network, this idea that you can't have a lead with no face is disapproved by, 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. Okay, never mind. So he's trying to argue that this is ridiculous of the fans. He's saying it's ridiculous to say that you can't pull off a show where the lead wears a mask the whole time, because just look at The Mandalorian. Or look at Dredd, Carl Urban, although technically that film wasn't a success. But it is a cult classic. It is beloved. In any case, open quote, this was not the only issue, and the show simply did not have the writing nor the budget to make this work at all. It was divorced from the games, the creators, and its fans, and outside of maybe 2 to 3 decent episodes across 2 seasons, I am not surprised we ended up here. No, I do not believe any other streaming service should save this show, be that Amazon, Netflix, or Max. There is not enough potential here to be worth the cost, agree, and this show has 2 seasons of whatever the opposite of goodwill is from the fan base. Not that Halo as an IP is the healthiest state in general right now, seemingly a ghost among Microsoft's future plans for the foreseeable future, despite Chief once being the face of the Xbox brand. Folks, that is a close quote for a second. That is an amazing thing to consider. Dude, 343 Studios has absolutely run this IP into the ground. I don't even understand why Bungie gave up Halo in the first place. Bungie was very disciplined about this character and this world. They had a Bible. They had a very clear vision of this world, but they just wanted to frack off and go make Destiny. They were just so excited. They were like those snooty actors who they get big on it. They were no names before they went on the show. Then they get big on the show, and then they think, oh, well, I'm going to go out there and be a star, and I'm too good for this show now. That's how Bungie was with Halo. They create this incredible IP, and then they thought they were too good for it, and then they went and made Destiny. Does anyone still play Destiny? I honestly don't know. In any case, 343 Studios has absolutely run this IP into the ground. This would be like Nintendo ruining Mario. Xbox, their whole brand was Halo when the original Xbox launched. And their brand, dude, I remember all the way through the Xbox 360's run, Halo was it. That original Halo trilogy, when a new game dropped, it was lines around the block. It was pre-order, sold out. It was like major event. Now, nobody even cares. Nobody even cares about Halo. That's incredible to me. Open quote. I believe there could be a great Halo adaptation someday. That is a forlorn hope, if you ask me. Forward Unto Dawn proved that. It was good. I love Forward Unto Dawn. But not this show. Not with this team. There is no point continuing to try to make this iteration work. Yeah, Paul Tassi, definitely sometimes a wacko. Correct in this matter. Joseph says, was that guy actually happy? Would that be Pablo Schreiber? I don't know. Anthony says, cancel the Acolyte, cancel Halo, leave Fallout to the video games. I know. I will say the Fallout TV show had the most actual potential of any of the shows, but I just don't understand why the writing is so bad on that show. Like, why is it so hard to hire good writers? I don't understand this. It's unbelievable because it's not just Disney. It's like the Fallout show. The plot was nonsense. The Long Man, Mahler, on his channel, Mahler, has it because most of his stuff is on Mueller. But go check out Mahler. He does a breakdown of the entire season 1 of Fallout, and it's an absolute mess. It's an absolute incoherent mess, and he just nails it to the wall. Joseph says Skeleton Crew has just found its way online, and believe it or not, it was discovered in a thrift store. It's the real deal. This is the strangest source of a leak to date. Interesting. Joseph says the poster was found in the thrift store and it was legitimate. Fascinating. Skeleton Crew is coming out in 2 months. Yeah, I mean, sadly, I just don't care. I just don't. I'm really tired of I'm tired of almost anything Filoni-verse, which is, I guess, all of it now. But I like Bad Batch. I watched because I was a fan of the Clone Wars show, and I liked parts of Star Wars Rebels. There were some good runs of episodes in Star Wars Rebels, so I gave Bad Batch a try, and I made it like I think I went through one episode of that, and I was like. And the clones were my favorite part of the Clone Wars show. Like Rex and Cody and the boys. They were my favorite part of that show. I couldn't do it with Bad Batch. It was just too boring. I just don't care about these little fetch quests anymore. I don't care about these little video game style side quests. Oh, look! We're on a planet and we have an important mission, but we need the doohickey to get the ship to go. But the cute little alien locals don't want to give us the doohickey. So we have to go on a whole wacky adventure to get the doohickey for the local. I don't care. Like, I just don't care. And I'm tired of that kind of storytelling. It's the only kind of storytelling they do in The Mandalorian. It's the only kind of storytelling they do. Well, Ahsoka, it's not even that. Ahsoka's just nothing happening. So, in any case. I totally forgot. Actually, I was going to play this for you, chat, because you've just got to see it. This is how cringe and awful the last episode of The Acolyte was. Hang on a second. Let me find this. Mueller. It's on the Mueller channel. They did an EFAP. Of the end of The Acolyte. Reacting to The Acolyte. Wait, was that? No, that's not the right one. I gotta go into my history here. Hang on a second. There it is. There it is. Oh, wait, no. Nope. Sorry, chat. Hang on. I swear, I just watched it today. I guess I should have bookmarked it. Reacting to The Acolyte. Complete breakdown of House of the Dragon. What am I missing here? Maybe they just mistitled it. Okay, they did. They mistitled it. That was weird. All right, never mind. Share screen. Here we go. So they broke down The Acolyte, and I had... What was the time code on this? I had a... Oh, dang it. I think it was like... I can find it. I want to say it's like 30 minutes in. Let's see here. I just want to show you the fight. I want to show you when they actually battle. It's amazing.
Getting a review now because you just said a Jedi did it.
It was the work of one flawed man.
Why did she frame?
Yeah, that's your account.
Why did she frame Soul instead of just saying the guy who did it? How is this better?
Yeah.
Where is Master Soul?
To record things, you don't have to have proof of everything.
Basil saw it. Basil
Yeah, so
was
this
alive and he saw it.
to
so
me
it's
that's the
already
huge
too
fuck
ago.
up that I think they've forgotten is Basil saw all of it. I know he's a goober creature, but he still has eyes and memory.
And of course, how do they explain a lot of things like where'd Soul's lightsaber go? That's kind of weird. What about that crashed ship that actually landed pretty close to
Well,
here?
then,
That's
if you
kind of
speak
crazy, huh?
to all of the people that have surrounded all of these events throughout this season on all the planets, ask them about who's been going where and what have they been saying and why has anything happened. You'll get some interesting fucking information.
Also, like, isn't it entirely viable that one of the dozen Jedi that came with her there, that they would have sensed, the presence of the dark side? I mean, she did.
All right, never mind. I can't find it. I can't find what I wrote down the time code, but then I didn't put it next to my computer. Mr. Producer, you're fired. Anyway. What else do we have in the stack of stuff? My dear chat, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the stream. Let's check out... So, if you don't know, Doctor Who. Doctor Who is not doing well. And it looks like the end has come for yet another destroyed franchise. Hat tip, Dave Cullen.
From pretty much the Matt Smith era onwards, Doctor Who...
Now, I'm relying on Dave here, because I am not a Doctor Who fan. So I have not... I haven't watched the show. I only kind of recently became aware of it. However, I am curious, because like my beloved Star Trek, like Star Wars, it has been assaulted by scumbags like Leslye Headland. And so I'm curious how things are going.
Enjoyed huge growth in popularity in the United States for the first time. I mean, sure, Doctor Who always had its fans in America, but during that period, it moved from being a fringe British sci-fi series to going majorly mainstream in the US.
Oh, dude, Fu Man Blue. Fu Man Blue is in the Rumble chat. Says, I heard this is where the cool people hang out. They get so excited about basic wire work, I'd buy that scene for $1. Yes, thank you, Fu Man. I just read all of your chats.
The series of the New Who era. Prior to that, only the hardcore US sci-fi fans really cared about the show. It became this absolute juggernaut phenomenon around 2010. And then, of course, these new fans went back and started watching David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston episodes and going back even further in some cases to the classic era. As a result of the show becoming more popular, the budget increased quite a lot. If you compare the final David Tennant episodes to Matt Smith's first episodes, the 11th hour onwards, there's a huge gulf in production standards there. Visually, the cinematography, lighting, set design, camera setups, it became much bigger, much more cinematic. And I think creatively, the David Tennant era was probably its best, which was from 2005 to 2010. But the most popular era, the most watched internationally, was Matt Smith to around mid-Peter Capaldi era. There was just so much going on in that period of time. The 6th series with the Impossible Astronaut storyline, it was just a gigantic year. And to capitalize on the newfound US audience...
Oh my god, Star Fury! Oh, no. Star Fury! Jeez. You're gonna get a timeout, Star Fury! What are you doing? This is why you get timeouts. You can't say stuff like that. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. Star Fury says, Doctor Who has been Turkish prison assaulted by the BBC and whomever they brought in to supposed run the show. Oh my god. Oh my god, Star Fury. You know what's so funny? So on the... Never mind. Just be careful, Star Fury. Just be careful.
The producers took the show...
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. He says, they always silence the truth tellers. That's true. You know, Staviere, you work so hard on behalf of the truth. I admire it. I do.
To the US to do some episodes there. Over the next 2 years, the show could do no wrong. In 2013, Doctor Who reached the stratosphere with its 50th anniversary specials, which also included Matt Smith's final episode as the Doctor. The period from the name of the Doctor, the night of the Doctor, the last day, the day of the Doctor, and the time of the Doctor, right up to Deep Breath, Capaldi's first episode. That was the zenith of the franchise. There was a major buzz about the show at the time. Since then, it's been a steady decline. Largely due to becoming progressively more stunning and brave, the decline has been so significant that its latest series, the first one with Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor, has the lowest ratings in the series' 60-year history. And there's concerns now that Disney may not continue its streaming deal with the BBC beyond the next season. This article is from comicbooknews.com. Doctor Who may be facing the axe after just 2 seasons due to low viewership.
Here's my question for Disney. Why don't you axe your low-performing Marvel shows and your low-performing Star Wars shows? Why do you hate making money? Why don't you just give fans what they want?
After last year's 60th anniversary specials, Doctor Who returned earlier this year with Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson leading the series. Behind the scenes, Russell T Davies, who brought the series back from the dead in 2005 to great success, was appointed showrunner, and the BBC made a deal with Disney Plus to give the show a big budget overhaul and bring it to its largest audience ever.
See, I think that in this line here, and hat tip again, Dave Cullen show, check out his channel, definitely. There's a clue hiding in that line right there, which is Disney gave it a big budget overhaul to bring it to a wider audience. So in other words, Disney just thinks you just throw money at things. Disney thinks that you can buy creativity. You can buy quality. You can buy success. You can buy fans. You can buy shells. You can buy shells. But that's about all you can buy. You can't buy vision. You can't buy a brilliant story. You can't buy excellent writing. I mean, you can pay excellent writers, but you can't just throw money in the world and just have excellent writing. It doesn't work that way. So they all they know how to do is spend money. They don't understand, and they're infested with ideologues. Anthony says, in other words, Doctor Who took it in the shorts. I mean, well, you're not wrong.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have paid off. Deadline, via sffgazette.com, has taken a deep dive into Doctor Who's performance since it returned to our screens in May with 8 new episodes, and claims noises that it may not last beyond its initial 2 seasons are already reverberating around international TV circles. One source close to the production believes its future hangs in the balance already. There's even chatter about the BBC Disney Plus deal not being re-upped after Season 2 airs, suggesting Doctor Who will either be scrapped again or forced to go back to being a lower budget production with a primarily UK-based audience.
Which I think would be the best thing that could happen to it. Go back to being a low budget, go back to your roots, and start working for the money again.
Of course, there's always going to be fans of Doctor Who globally, regardless of what the show does, but it does look like if the budget is slashed, that the show is going to kind of go into retreat a little bit and become a more smaller scale series. The article continues. Disney has reportedly had a fair bit of creative input with the new series, though it's unclear whether that extends to the woke themes and casting, which is indeed believed to have hurt viewership, unsurprisingly. Ironically, one of this relaunch's best episodes tackled the subject of racism, so this is disappointing to hear. While Disney Plus doesn't disclose viewing figures, the show did reach a high of 7th on the streamer's list of most in-demand series in the US. However, considering its budget and a pricey marketing campaign, viewership figures stateside are deemed underwhelming and okay but not stellar. Doctor Who has always had a bigger audience in the UK, of course, but the outlook there isn't much brighter. Its launch was well behind Jodie Whittaker's final episode. While she was a fine doctor, her stint was considered a low point creatively.
I love this shill article. She was a fine doctor. She was so stunning, so brave.
With the entire series down an average of 1.5 million viewers per episode compared to her time in the TARDIS. The BBC is said,
in other words, failure. Failure.
To be happy with streaming numbers on its iPlayer, touting at least 65 million streams in 2024. The ratings are a problem, one source tells the trade. They can talk all they like about young viewers, but they're still down from the specials and down from the Jodie series. I imagine serious conversations are happening. Disney will want to see results. I suspect that if the
Disney? Seriously? Disney wants results? They want results? When do they want results? Every single show they've released, it's been a complete disaster. Every movie is a failure. What are they talking about? They've driven Pixar into the ground. They've driven Lucasfilm into the ground. They've driven Marvel into the ground. They've driven Doctor Who into the ground. And what we want results? Oh my God. Folks, these are dumb people. These are stupid people running this company.
Money just keeps coming. And the priority is just to churn out content, as in literally just bland fixture fulfillment episodes with the intent of pushing the message. Yeah, the series could continue for another season or two. But slashing the budget does suggest that the show has a major ratings problem, obviously, where the viewership figures simply don't justify the financial investment in the series, both in terms of the budget per episode and also the marketing spend. The slow death of the...
My Star Fury, I just saw one of your messages get retracted. Oh no. I don't know. Star Fury's living dangerously today.
Doctor Who franchise continues. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Oh no. Star Fury. Anthony. Oh no, I can't say that one. But yes, hat tip, Dave Cullen, a fascinating analysis. I'm always curious about the fate of Doctor Who. Yeah, short of the long is, complete disaster. I mean, Star Wars is in ruins. Marvel is in ruins. Star Trek is in ruins. Halo is in ruins. All ruins. And we, the fans, we, the audience, will continue on these woke companies to inflict defeat after defeat after defeat. Now then, there's a couple of trailers that have slipped my notice, and I wanted to react to them. So I thought now might be a good time. So I wanted to check out, let's see, the Captain America Brave New World, Captain African American, as some people are calling him. Let's check out this trailer, shall we? The new Captain America, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, T'Challa is Black Panther, and Steve Rogers is Captain America. That's just my opinion. It's nothing personal. Dude, I like Anthony Mackie. I like the character of the Falcon. This was a mistake. Recasting Captain America was a mistake. Just like recasting T'Challa was a giant mistake. And a lot of people pointed out, John Hurt, who is a great actor. I really love that actor. And he played Thunderbolt Ross in the previous Marvel films. He passed away. So they recast him with Harrison Ford. Why couldn't they do that with Chadwick Boseman? They can recast Rhodey. They can recast Thunderbolt Ross. Why can't they recast T'Challa? Ridiculous.
Wilson.
Thanks for coming in. Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election. You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
I wonder if the film is aware of the fact that those windows are like bullet resistant. Those are like bulletproof. Those are more than bulletproof windows in the White House. But in any case, that's probably. Wait, he's not superpowered though. So how can he jump out a window like that? Or is that that's the other Captain? That was the sort of precursor to Steve Rogers' Captain America. Yeah, okay. So he's superhuman, so he could do that in theory. Guess what I'm not seeing? So this is an interesting thing. I say this often. A lot of these modern trailers, they don't actually give you a real hook for the story, right? And yes, teasers often are intentionally style over substance. They're not really meant to give you a story. I personally think, given that this film has gone through a serious amount of reshoots, I think the story's a mess. I don't think it really has a coherent story, and I think the trailer is, as usual, trying to hide it. I could be wrong. It has been known to happen. Rarely. It has been known to happen.
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap?
Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn. You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
That was the red. A lot of jangling keys, a lot of meta crap about you bigoted evil fans won't accept him as Captain America. It's like, dude, never mind the fact that there are lore reasons why he doesn't work as Captain America. Look, this whole situation with Anthony Mackie, who I like, Falcon, who I like, right, is a perfect example of how woke storytelling observes you and not the other way around. Because you notice the subtle feeling you get when you watch this? It's like, if you don't like that Sam Wilson is now Captain America, if you don't like it, well, what does that say about you? And that's what the film is asking. It is inviting you to be a bigot. And that's what pisses me off about it, because I do not care about any of that having to do with race. What I care about is whether this makes sense for the story. And quite frankly, I'd rather just retire the character. Let it be Steve Rogers, or retire the character, or just reboot the MCU. That being said, leaving all that aside, there was a lot of very interesting visuals. You had Giancarlo Esposito in there. You had some great, some of the shots looked really cool. It looked like a Michael Mann film, or like, Bourne Ultimatum or something like that. But there's no sense of a hook. There's no sense of a story. Like, for example, because they want this to be a spy thriller, right? That's what they want. But even spy thrillers need a hook to get you in the door. So, Bourne Identity. I actually remember vaguely seeing the Bourne Identity trailer in theaters a long time ago, and I remember thinking, I've got to see that movie. Let's see if I can find the trailer. No, get rid of that. Trailer. See if it'll let me play this. Here we go. This is the first trailer for Bourne Identity years ago. Tony Gilroy.
He has the skills.
You stop right there!
Of a dangerous
I'm not getting picture.
Man.
Hang on. Oh, that's weird. It's not showing me the visuals. Okay, now I think it's working.
the skills
Stop right there!
of a dangerous man.
I need to know.
Dude, to this day, the martial arts in those films is unbelievable. I mean, unbelievably good. And by the way, the martial arts he uses in these films is based on real martial arts. I forget the name of it. It's I want to say it's like a South Asian. I just don't remember the country, but it's like I don't want to say what country because I don't remember. But it's I remember in the behind the scenes, this was based on a real kind of martial arts. One of them, they called, the translation for it was quick kill, which is kind of crazy, but God, it looks so good, even to this day. Does anyone else miss when trailers had the guy, the guy in a world, you know what I mean? It's like, he is a man with dangerous skill. Do you know what's interesting about that? It tells a story. It's giving you a story hook. There is something to be said for that.
What went wrong?
I think he snapped.
But he has no memory.
We don't take care of this, we will both burn.
Dude, I love Brian
It's
Cox.
trained.
So good.
Condition. Built to disappear.
I'll give you $10,000 to drive me to Paris.
I get the money, and I don't get...
Dude, look at how much story. 39 seconds, folks. 39 seconds. And we already know he is a man who looks ordinary, but he has extraordinary skills. He can escape anything. He can do almost anything, but he has no memory. The government is after him, and he doesn't know what to do.
That's the deal.
Now, the government's top agent.
I can't remember anything that happened before 2 weeks ago.
Amnesia?
Yes.
Is about to become their #1 target.
What's in Paris?
It's a name, Jason Bourne.
Let's see if the Paris police can find him for us.
And the only way he can survive
Talk a lot.
is to find out who he is.
I guess you're not home. Monsieur Bond!
I don't recognize any of this.
Before they find out.
Get the address. I think I got it.
I mean, you don't even have to give the audience half of this, but like just the first 30 seconds or so gives you plenty of hook for an awesome spy thriller. Dude, these were pretty good movies, I have to say. God, that fight was amazing.
He's out of control. It's very clear what needs to happen.
Based on the international bestseller.
My only regret, so that gives you kind of a sense of what I'm saying. Do you notice how like these trailers with Marvel movies, they never have this. They never have a hook. They never tell you what the story is. You never know. Because really, a good trailer should have you wondering what's going to happen. It should have you needing to know what's going to happen. So you watch that Captain America trailer. Do you have like this? Do you even know what is on the line in that movie at all? Because we're not worried about the president because we don't like him. He's obviously a bad guy. That's obvious. He's a bad guy. Sam has an identity. Oh, I'm not Steve Rogers. I am Sam Wilson. Okay, fine. But what else? What else is this story about? Let's see here. What was in the chat? I saw something. Starfury says, I just rewatched The Best of Both Worlds in Star Trek The Next Generation and Family, the following episode, one of my favorite episodes, Starfury, says, just to remember great storytelling with the consequential aftermath of being used to destroy everything you hold dear. Well, take hard stuff, Hitty. Hey, listen, they are taking an absolute bath. Like, they are getting shellacked, folks. That would be the woke storytellers. They are getting absolutely shellacked. The time is coming when this will be unsustainable. It's rapidly approaching. But I will just say, yes, Family in Star Trek The Next Generation. Do you know this stuff, Hitty? You probably do. It is the only episode of the show in which the bridge is not a set. It's not a set that's used in that episode. Only episode in the series where it's not used. Kind of amazing, huh? That was a great episode. For those who don't know, Best of Both Worlds, probably the best episodes of the entire Next Generation, was the 2-part episode in which the Borg they invade the Federation and they abduct Picard and turn him into a Borg, and he becomes Locutus of Borg, which actually kind of becomes the epic B-plot of Jean-Luc Picard all the way until Terry Metalis' brilliant rogue season of Star Trek Picard, Season 3. which I think was a great conclusion to that whole long-running story arc of his lifelong battle with his ultimate nemesis, the Borg. And Family was the episode was dealing with the fallout of that, like the trauma that Picard endured, and it just kind of like different characters wrestling with their family issues while they're on Earth. It was a great episode. Great episode. Captain Shaft. That would be instead of Captain America. Star Fury says, what does this movie say about me? I have taste, discernment, and critical thinking skills. Hence it is shit. Which movie are you talking about there, Star Fury? Let me know. I miss the days when the gravelly trailer narrator would just give us the hook for the movie. He is a man that doesn't remember anything. He's the government's top agent. He must find out the truth before the government tracks him down. Yes, I want to see that movie. It looks good. Hey, how about Gladiator 2? Let's check this one out. By the way, Gladiator. Normally, I would skip the little pre-trailer trailer, but I want you to see this pre-trailer trailer because it's important, folks. I love the first Gladiator film. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I would almost say it's my favorite film of all time, but The Lord of the Rings beats it out because Lord of the Rings, greatest film trilogy ever made, greatest 3 films ever made, in my opinion. They are, in my lifetime, they are the greatest film epics. They are the Gone with the Wind of my lifetime. They are the master, they are the Citizen Kane of my lifetime, those Lord of the Rings films. But in any case, Gladiator was an excellent film. Did it need a sequel? Well, I've always wanted to see Titanic 2, so why not a Gladiator 2? But whatever. Folks, modern film companies, they think we're stupid people. They really do. They think their audiences are dumb. And they really they think that we will not be interested in seeing a movie about old Roman dinosaurs unless it has snazzy TikTok music on it. It's really insulting, folks. Why can't you do a trailer where it says that the legacy of Maximus looms large, but a new gladiator rises? You know, the old gravelly voice. I'd rather see that.
I remember that day. I never forgot it. That a slave could take revenge against an emperor.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
You will be my instrument.
Who are you?
I will say this. I love Denzel in this trailer. I mean, yes, I've heard the critiques. Denzel is just doing Denzel, but Denzel does not have to do anything else. Denzel is Denzel. Denzel does what Denzel does because Denzel is Denzel.
Did you hear that crowd? The greatest temple Rome ever built. The Colosseum. Because this is what they believe in. Power.
Dude, what's crazy is I've heard so many people saying, "Oh, this is ridiculous. They're putting water in the Colosseum," and it's like, dude, I think they really did this. They really did. Dude, the Colosseum is an amazing technical achievement, and so is, by the way, the Chariot racetrack as well is an incredible technical achievement.
General Acacius.
There are victories yet still to come.
Rome has so many subjects. She must feed them.
They can eat war.
It's probably a dumb line, but I like that line. I like that line a lot.
The arena turns slaves into gladiators, then gladiators into free men.
You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage. That rage is your gift.
Now, I have to say, there's a lot of spectacle in this trailer that I like a lot, such as the siege on the city walls. I think that's all pretty rad. There's something I've noticed about modern films. I wonder if you've noticed the same thing. Do you notice they all have this kind of fake CGI smoky look? You know, like there's always these plumes of smoke and dust, and for whatever reason, this looks less real to me than the original film. The original film looked real to me. This looks like a lot of CGI. Like a lot. Like it's reminding me of, like, The Flash. Like going to see The Flash and how CGI that looks. So...
This is about survival! Come on!
Like that's exactly it. Right there. Right there. Let me show that shot again. See if I can pause there. You see what I mean? Does that look real to you? That doesn't look real to me. That looks like smoke that's been CGI'd into the scene.
Come on! Hold together, and when the charges break for the wall.
Whose head could I give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Too much?
The general will do.
Rome must.
And there it is. Yeah, it really takes a nosedive with that. Why do they have to? They think we're stupid. We have to have trendy hip hop music, or these dumb Americans will not watch it.
I need to only give it a push.
We'll make it out alive.
You know, now that because I've listened to people react to this trailer, but I haven't actually, like, watched it that often, and so this is actually a little too... I'm actually walking this back a little. Denzel is literally just acting like modern Denzel. He's not acting like ancient Roman Denzel. This is literally like how he sounds in Training Day.
We'll make it out alive.
He's like, ha ha ha, my dog.
Alright. Hands on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors.
This ring belonged to Maximus. Now I give it to you. What is the dream of Rome? If people are not free.
Now, the kind of vocal piece that's underneath that, I actually like that a lot, but that's because it sounds like Hans Zimmer's original soundtrack. Why couldn't they just do, like, a sweeping Hans Zimmer orchestral sound? Like, why not do that? Why have to do this garbage?
I was owned. Now I will control an empire.
I will not waste another generation of young men for their vanity.
Strength among us! This our own treats its heroes! Hands on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors. The gods have spoken!
Like that last little musical riff right there, I like that a lot. The dumb hip hop stuff does not fit ancient Rome, but yeah, that last little beat, that was pretty good. I'm gonna tell you something. Ridley Scott is been absolute trash lately, and it's really depressing because some of my favorite films are Ridley Scott films, such as Alien, Gladiator, of course. I really love the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven. I think that's actually pretty brilliant as well. A good night, Staffy. Yes, I know. A crush on Franca Potent from The Bourne Identity. I don't blame you. And says good night, everyone. Good night! Our sweet prince across the pond is off to bed. Where was I? Staff Fury distracted me. I do want to show you a comparison, though. Okay, so they put this weird hip-hop music in the Gladiator soundtrack. Why does this fit ancient Rome? Oh, yes, I was saying that Ridley Scott has just been screwing the pooch lately, and he has. So, Napoleon was garbage. That film was a complete waste of time. It's one of the worst executed biopics I have ever seen. which is saying something, because Napoleon's story is so incredible in real life. It's like hard to screw up. I think part of the problem with that was he just narrated history. He didn't tell actual story. So this movie could be absolute trash, or who knows, it might actually be good. What's fascinating to me, though, you have ancient Rome, and we're using a hip-hop soundtrack for ancient Rome. Why can't you just do what the Dune trailer did? See if I can find it real quick. I can't even play very much of it. This would be... I think that's the one. Yeah, it's the trailer 3. Yeah. Hang on a second. Maybe... There it is. There it is. Okay, I'm going to... I can only play like 5 seconds of this to make my point. This is one of the greatest film trailers of all time. And this would be the Dune Part 2 official trailer number 3. Go watch it and tell me that the music in the trailer... This is the music from the film, which is what makes it so awesome. But the music of the trailer should match the tone and style of the film. Look at how brilliant this was for Dune Part 2.
My allegiance is to you. Do you believe me?
This is a form of power that our world has not yet seen. The ultimate power.
I want you to know I will love you as long as I breathe.
Lose me.
Yo, it's just unbelievable. It gives me chills every time. It's such a good trailer. It's just absolutely incredible. I wish I could play the whole thing, but I can't because they'll copyright the shit out of me. I might even have to clip that part of the stream for all I know, because they're really, for whatever reason, Warner Brothers just do not like it. That's how you do the Gladiator trailer. You do it with the brilliant score of the film. And if you don't have the score of the film yet, that's fine. But use something that's appropriate to ancient Rome. It's so pedantic. It's so condescending to do it the way they did. And it just disappoints me. But, you know. Well, my dear sailors and starnuts, let's close it out with an article I just found super interesting. I just found this fascinating, and I thought maybe we'll discuss it together. Add to stage. So, hat tip bounding into comics. Spencer Bakuli with an article. Mobile Suit Gundam Creator believes, quote, it is absolutely impossible for humans to leave the Earth and live in space, which is actually pretty hilarious. So the guy who created this amazing anime, Mobile Suit Gundam, all about humans having epic, you know, sweeping wars in space, says, that's never going to happen. It's kind of funny. But let's get into it. In the opinion of Mobile Suit Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino, humanity must take care to protect the planet Earth because despite our greatest hopes, Elon's going to be very disappointed in this opinion, the prospect of escaping out into the frontiers of space is completely unfeasible. The 82-year-old creator offered his slightly dour take on mankind's future while speaking with Japanese news outlet Era Dot in reflection of the 60th anniversary of his anime industry start. Pressed by the outlet, as machine translated by Deeple, as to what influence his seminal film Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack has had on his career, Tomino admitted, quote, there is one thing that became clear to me after making films for about 10 years, from Mobile Suit Gundam to Char's Counterattack. I realized that I was simulating what would happen if humans went out into space to live. My conclusion from this is that it is absolutely impossible for humans to leave the Earth and live in space. Close quote for a second. There must be something lost in translation here, because is he aware of the International Space Station? I'm sure he is. I'm just saying, I mean, at least sort of temporarily we do on the International Space Station. Yeah, granted, it's dependent on supply from the surface, and you can't stay there forever because with the low gravity, muscles and bones atrophy. Fair enough. I guess it's probably just a translation issue. Open quote. However, he says, if I denied this, I would not be able to create space battle stories, so I continued to create the Gundam series. Because of this, some people seem to think that I have a positive view of human life in space, but it is quite the opposite, he explained. Humanity must continue to live on this Earth, and that is, for now, I do agree with that, and that is why we must take care of the Earth's environment. There is no way out for humanity in space. I have been making a series called Gundam Reconquista in G since 2014, and in my recent works, I have brought aspects of my true feelings more to the forefront. Met with the subsequent observation from the news outlet that in recent years private space development, including Elon Musk's SpaceX, has been making progress, Tomino affirmed in turn, quote, private space development has started worldwide and some people like Elon Musk are advocating space immigration. However, I am skeptical about how serious they are. Perhaps they know that it is impossible, but I think they are just advocating a theme to make space development a business, he continued. Even if there is no space immigration, the space business will continue to move forward in areas such as launching more satellites and procuring resources from space. In the sense that space development is actually gaining momentum, one might say that humanity is obsessed with capitalism of the 21st century, close quote. So the guy is saying that, Elon Musk, he talks a good game. It's just so he can keep the business going. What? Wait, so you're saying that Elon is he's a grifter? He's inventing rockets, and he's inventing Starlink, and he's inventing all this space technology, but he knows it's not going to work. He knows that Mars is a bunch of BS. It's never going to happen. We're never going to get there. He's just doing it because that's how he makes money. Because capitalism is about beautiful money. That's pretty cynical, man. That's pretty cynical. Open quote from Tomino. He says, but again, I do not think that space is the way out for the human race, the anime director added. We have to think about how we can continue to live on the Earth forever. And I believe that the theoretical struggle over how to confront the capitalism of the 21st century, which is trying to find a way out of the universe, will continue for about 200 years. Close quote for a second. It's funny. I often think about, is it really possible for us to colonize space? Will we ever invent faster than light travel? I mean, when you really think about it, how likely is it? Ask any physicist worth his salt, and he'll tell you space travel, faster than light space travel, it's basically impossible. It's not possible. The laws of physics will never allow it. Even if they did, the amount of energy required would be so astronomical, it would require all the energy of the galaxy or some ridiculous, obscene amount. And even if you could harness enough energy to do it, there's all kinds of other problems and it would never work. And that's kind of the general consensus of physicists. And one part of me says, but I'm sure that humans have always had that sort of cynical attitude just before we discovered something incredible, such as nuclear power, for example. I think we will figure something out. But on the other hand, it does seem kind of impossible. But that being said, whenever I hear something like we just have to live on the Earth forever and never leave, I'm like, dude, something in my bones, something in the core of my being just knows, number one, no way, that's not going to work. And B, that we are meant for more. I'm just saying, we are meant for more, folks. I believe that. My dear sailors and starnuts, the name of this channel is Swords and Starships, and that's not just for fictional reasons, that's for real reasons. It's our destiny. I really believe this. If we can just survive long enough not to wipe ourselves out, it is our destiny to get out there someday, folks. I mean, in a big way. In a big way. I just feel that. I feel that in my bones. And I hear it whenever, and I feel that whenever I hear something. Oh, we just have to live on Earth forever. What? That would be like telling the Pilgrims, you just have to live in Europe forever. You can never see if there's something else out there. It just, no. We aren't wired that way. I think Elon Musk is right about this, folks. We need frontiers. We need to explore. There is something very true in Gene Roddenberry's brilliant, his injunction to adventure, his call to adventure in Star Trek, which is to boldly go where no one's gone before. There's something in our DNA, folks. We need this. It's our destiny. Open quote. And I believe that the theoretical... Oh, I already read that part. To this end, Tomino has revealed that rather than fearing the reports that the world population will hit its peak and subsequently proceed to decline sometime in the next century, he believed such an outcome would be beneficial for humanity's continued survival. Quote, the space colony that underpins the Gundam worldview was originally a concept proposed in the 1960s due to concerns about a population explosion. However, the United Nations now predicts that the world's population will peak around the year 2100, after which it will begin to decline. This change in the times also seems to have led to the current situation where the space colony concept is fizzling out. Close quote for a second. I will never forget, 20 years ago, I'm sitting in a college classroom and my teacher played for me this video, which was a model. In fact, I think I could probably find it on YouTube. I am absolutely sure I can find this, folks. It's this model that's intended to scare the absolute hell out of you. I can't even imagine how many students they played this for. World population time lapse. I think that is... Let me see if I can find this. I'll know it if I see just a screenshot of it. Might be able to find it. World population. Maybe this will find it. Let me check this video real quick. No. Although... Yeah, this is close enough. This is close enough. Let me just... This is kind of similar to what it was. Let me show you this. Okay. This is it's not exactly what he showed me, but it's something kind of like this. And it's like, look at what's going to happen. Oh, this was humanity in like the BCs. And each dot represents like 1 million people, right? And it's our population remained low, probably less than 1 million people in the BCs, right? And then it started picking up. And dude, they're using a Geiger counter sound. So it's like radiation. We're like a radioactive disease and we're polluting the planet. So what year is this? This is supposed to be the year... I can't really see the numbers on the bottom here. It's just not... Hang on. Let me see if I can get the cursor out of the way. So this is supposed to be like Middle Ages, let's say, and it's showing like what the population was then. Yeah, so year 900, year 1000, right? Each dot, 1 million. Then you get to the modern age, the invention of electricity. Oh no! Yeah, now we're in the year Industrial Revolution. Oh no, we're almost at 1 billion! And then it's modern world. Oh, we're all gonna die! Okay, so that gives you an idea, right? So they scare the hell out of you. They scare the hell out of you. This was what they thought 20 years ago. Now what is all the data showing? The data is showing we're headed for a population collapse in 2100. Isn't that incredible, folks? They always say the sky is falling, don't they? So resuming with the article, Quote, I feel that the trend is good, meaning the population collapse, in its own rights, he told Eridot. There are some news reports that speak ill of a population decline, but I think it's a very good thing. I think it is a good thing because we humans will have to use the Earth forever. I have been saying for the past couple of decades that the world's population must be reduced to the level of the Meiji Restoration, which was a period in Japan in the 1800s, I believe. If the world population decreases to that level, we can become self-sufficient by adding on to our current science and technology, and we may be able to solve the food problem and so on. Close quote. Yeah, see, they always think this, right? They always, people that advocate for this kind of worldview, humans are a poison, humans are the problem, they always think in static terms. See, if we can just return to the way our population was in the 1800s, everything will be utopia. Never mind that there will be less people to come up with interesting ideas, less people to contribute to the creativity of humanity. Open quote. Closing out his interview with his thoughts on the current worldwide political climate, Tomino ultimately opined, hang on, let me get my ad blocker going here. Okay. I am concerned that the current political situation in the world is infested with presumptuous politics. Some people have pointed out that the political situation in the world today resembles that of the ancient Greeks when we look at it from a bird's eye view, he argued. According to the ancient Greek view of cyclical history, a monarchy becomes corrupt and becomes an aristocracy, which then becomes corrupt and becomes a democracy. The democratic government eventually falls into a popular government, which then leads to a pretender government in which unqualified people claim to be leaders. Actually, that sort of tracks. This is an article written by Terumasa Nakanishi, a professor emeritus at Kyoto University, and it was an eye-opener for me when I read it. The Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 is a typical example. Looking at politicians today, don't you think that the current era is much worse than the Cold War era? I have only a few days left of my life, but I wish the young people living today the best of luck. Well, thanks! Thanks, creator of the Gundam series. So he's basically saying that, like, we're screwed. And it's a good thing our population is declining, because, oh my god, we'd be screwed if not. I think he's so wrong about this, folks. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that he's right, the creator of Mobile Suit Gundam? That would be, let me see, I'll make sure I pronounce his name right, if I can. Yoshiyuki Tomino. Says, we'll never make it into space. Just give up, folks. It's never going to happen. Well, for once, I agree with Elon on this. I think, number one, it is going to happen. We're going to figure it out. And number two, we need this. We humans, we're not wired for sitting around doing nothing on the same planet forever. We just can't do it, folks. There is stuff out there. And we got to get to it. We got to find it. And we will. We will. So, there you go. It's over, folks. The Acolyte is finally over, thank God. I really hope they don't make another one of these. I really hope they don't. No more Acolytes. Please, Disney. What would it take to make you stop? Like, just stop. It's not a profit motive. Folks, they are not doing this to make money. They're not. They don't make any money on this shit. But they keep doing it. Why? Dude, Captain America, Brave New, it's gonna fail. It's gonna be a total disaster. Wolverine and Deadpool, gonna be awesome. No, I'm pretty sure. But it's gonna be a fail. They're just gonna keep doing it. Why? I don't know. It's a mystery of the universe, folks. It's one of the 8 wonders of the world. I don't know. But in any case, we'll be here to cover it here on the Swords and Starships channel. I'm gonna try and keep doing a Thursday and Sunday stream. So, come hang out with me. It's been fun, folks. I am Captain Garrett of the channel Swords and Starships. Live on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it out there. And until next time, this is Captain Garrett saying, I will see you out there among the stars.